going on, good people? Yours truly, EZDZ, one of the hosts of Chop Shop. Apologize for the late start today. To my left, we're the one and only AKA City Hall Greg Doss. How you feel tonight, young man?
And county commissioners come Wednesday. Check us out. I feel my hands like I always do. I'm gonna really feel good come Wednesday.
I apologize for the aggression, ladies. And on the far end, world famous Reverend Waldo, Dade City's finest.
You welcome.
Wow.
Great. Okay, let's get into it. We're going back to school tonight, but I've been hype on this for the last probably week and a half. We finna really get into this narrative of education within the Bay Area. So I reached out to her a week and a half ago. She, definitely nominated for the Ida Baker Award.
Oh, okay.
It's a conspiracy.
Okay, and I said, I want you to bring somebody. She said, I bring my partner, my ace with me. So without further ado, educators April Cobb and Denise Papion, welcome to Chop Shop.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's get into it. So I'm gonna go to Miss Papion first. Mm-hmm. How'd you get into the education of what got you into teaching?
My entire family has been always dedicated to community service and also just a love of community. That's the basic thing right there. Okay. And so I'm, originally from the Virgin Islands. And most of my family members are educators, doctors, nurses, anything that has to do with helping the community. So I just knew automatically that was my path. And so that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much where I reside in that scope of place right there.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. And Sister Cobb, we're gonna have church this evening. How did you get your start?
So I stumbled upon becoming an educator. So many will know that's from Tampa, Mr. David Best, which was a principal back in the days. I want to say Mr. Best was a principal. His last principalship was at Blake High School, but don't quote me on that. However, he was charged with the opportunity to create the career centers in the Tampa Bay area. So Denise and I are one of the founder teachers for D.W. Waters Career Center. Okay. It's no longer what it used to be because we didn't even know it was alternative school at the time.
No, we didn't. In fact,
we found out later that it was an alternative school.
Jumped in feet first. Nobody told us it was an alternative school.
No.
Even I knew that. I ain't even from here.
No. Because, again, when you say or you present to families that we're creating a alternative environment for your child to be able to acquire a career path or some type of certification in order to better themselves because they did not want to go the traditional path of just high school diploma. You don't think that's alternative school, how alternative school is defined.
Yeah, that's true, too.
But, we learned the hard way when it was time to leave.
To leave, exactly.
When they said, no, you got to go to
like to like. So basically, you can't go from alternative school to a traditional middle school. So we're like, what? I need to add more stuff to my certificate? What?
Right.
So then we found out, But I had been there 10 years. You had been there, what?
It was, I ended on 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. So then it was time to move. So then they start hopping around, adding things to your certificate. And if you become highly qualified, we're going to come to that in a minute. We'll talk about that.
We can do that now if you want to.
Right now.
We can do it right now. We got to work our way up.
Well, what I will say is this, though, when it comes to highly qualified, I think that with educators, we are the most professionally developed people. God. I mean, there is never a time when there's never a year when you could just sit back and just relax. You're always in training. You're always working on something. You're always advancing your particular. My certificate looked like this. I mean, I stacked upon stack. That's why if I had to transfer anywhere, I just get picked up quickly. There's really no break between. Right. It's like, because everybody's like, oh my God, look how many things you have in your certificate. You can teach anywhere. So I can teach everywhere from 6th grade all the way to high school.
Okay. And that aligns with the fact that when you work at a school like D.W. Waters Career Center, where you have 4 and 5 preps in one room, the average can't handle one prep in a room. And that means the courses that you're being taught. So I was teaching 4 to 5 preps daily in one classroom. Y'all understand what I mean by that?
I don't know what you mean by prep.
Meaning
okay, so I could teach intensive reading, language arts, critical thinking.
I got you.
All in the same classroom.
So it's basically subjects.
Yeah, multiple subjects. So now you're breaking it down. Now you're like, okay. So when people realize that you can do that, now you're
Hakamadi.
You're Hakamadi, exactly. And so now they're like, well, can you just do language? The blessing is when you could just teach one subject. Like, this is the first year ever where I've taught one subject. I've been at it 26 years. One subject is what I teach.
What about you? How long you been teaching?
27.4 years,
Yes.
and I want the 0.4 accounted for.
Correct, exactly.
Because
I want all my
I
money
want when I hit that
retire.
30 with
You want
that,
to hit the door.
Yes.
Or hit the drop.
No, we're not dropping.
No.
We're
We're
gone.
retiring.
You gonna drop out
I don't
for
even
real?
go to the meetings. I'm
Yeah,
not dropping.
I'm not doing any of that.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's
Exactly.
go.
So that's
Yeah.
if we go now to 27.4, so now you're looking at 29. Mm-hmm. And that's when they get real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we gone.
We going to do what I want to do in education.
Right.
That's going to be consulting.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you can't.
Can't lead the kids.
And on top of that, we
You can.
You
You
can.
can, but no.
Yeah.
See, but the thing with that, let's talk
Ask
about
me.
that.
Ask
It's
me.
so easy for individuals, and I get it. Some people
Yeah.
are like, forget them kids.
Yeah.
Right.
LTK.
Yes.
Knowing
Absolutely.
where I came from growing up in Florence Villa, which is 5 blocks from Brocado's, which you all reference to all of as Highland Pine and Grant Park. I know what that looked like. I know what the crack epidemic looked like. I know all of those things. So I just can't walk away from other people's children knowing that they have so many deficits, so many indicators that already design them to be failures. I can't do it. Now, when I say I'm going to retire just means I'm going to do my own thing when it relates to education.
Yes.
It's not going to mean I'm going to be like them kids.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do something different.
And you have to think about the fact is a lot of us, when we started, I mean, retirement is funny for educators because you can have the years, but you just don't have the age.
Right.
So it's like we are
I'm going
literally,
anyway.
we're like, okay, listen, I'm still not 60. So it's like,
Right.
okay, I've got all the years, but still
Look at you.
gotta go. So at the
Okay.
same time,
Still
you
gotta
know,
go.
so that's the thing. So that means, you're still young enough to truly say, you know what I want to do? I want to do something else.
Right.
And I think I can go ahead and go forward with that.
You mentioned the age 60. You mean you can reach the retirement qualification for the number of years in, and you can't draw until you're 60?
No, it is 60. I think it's 65, right?
Right.
It's 65. So, but you reach your years. So, and that's the hard
30-year
part about
mark,
it. You
yes.
reach your 30-year mark.
So now I have a problem, and you all don't have to say it, but now I have a problem with the union.
Here you go.
I have a big problem with the union. And by the way, teachers should participate. Teachers and instructional staff should all be a part of the same union. I don't know if you are or not. And they should demand that the moment you hit that marker, I'm out. If you were in the middle, if you were still in the Air Force, what would you have done? What would have happened the week after you retired?
I had to retire. I got paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents did not retire, and then had to wait until they, because otherwise you talking the military.
But that's why you see all the elder teachers like still in the
Still in
school.
there.
That's
like,
why
like
they
in
gotta
Dade
work and
City,
doing all
like
kind
in
of
Dade
stuff.
City, like
So
it was
yeah.
Miss Allen. She taught probably 3 generations of our family.
I've talked about
we
2
experiencing
generations.
that now,
we
too,
teach
yeah.
experience. So I'm teaching kids who are student or the children of the students I taught before.
Or
Yeah.
grandchildren, probably. Well,
But she was on her 3rd generation, so
right.
I ain't trying to
You
do all
have
that.
Yeah,
kids.
you 27 years in, you call somebody 11.
But
They
the
could be
thing-
somebody's grandmama right
Yeah.
The thing with that, there's 2 types of
Dang.
possibilities of being able to exit the school district. So I'm not on the track where individuals have to work those entire years beyond the 30 years. I'm in the investment plan. So
Okay.
therefore, when I'm out, and I knew that.
Investment versus pension, for those
yes,
who don't know.
and for
Yeah.
those that in that pension plan, they might get a little more, but right here gonna still be intact.
Right.
And I'm gonna be able to say, you know what, I did what I want to do. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
And we talk about this a lot. Shout out to West Tampa's finest, Alvin Bronson Cupcake Killer. He talks about it a lot on his morning ritual. We got a lot of punk ass parents that go along with education. With teachers, not teachers, parents.
They
are
call
not
us punk
holding
ass
it-
teachers.
I'm just saying, it's punk ass parents because we're not holding our children accountable.
Correct.
I knew, and I can speak for these 3. I knew what a bad report card meant. I knew what a phone call during the day calling your parent at their place of business that your child is out here
And
doing.
everybody around knew that
And
too.
everybody knew that because, we had that, we come from the era where your parents came to school and it was going to get physical when they got there.
Right there.
Violent.
Violent. Yeah,
Violent.
borderline violent.
Violent. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
How did you do that to that child?
exactly. So now it's like I hear now they got parents saying, "Oh, I'll be up there to straighten. I'll be up there. I'm finna pull up." How you finna? Why you want to fight the teacher and your baby in the wrong?
Tell them what auntie said about you.
Oh, it's 30 y'all in the 30 ugly MFs in the class, and you the only one that they calling out.
I remember I saw that too when
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said that.
That sounds good, but I ain't going for that, boy.
So let's really let's pause right here in that.
Okay.
Let's massage that just for a moment.
Okay.
So today's child is something that I've never experienced in my entire career.
Okay.
Yes, children are going to evolve because the world around them is doing just that. It's evolving.
Okay.
However, when it comes to the quality of the child, not meaning like the looks and the
not
whatever you want to say about
necessarily, not
that.
what you got on your outfit. Yeah,
They
not that.
literally believe that they have authority over the adults.
Yes. Yes.
They've been and the only way they can believe that if they've been taught that. They've been, it's been embedded in them to say that only person you got to listen to is me, and that's when it's convenient because half the time you don't listen to me, but I'm gonna put, when they come in front of us, they put on that show like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
on-point parent.
Them kids come out to school and be like, she ain't do nothing.
Right, and they
She just doing all
they
talk.
will tell you too that you call my mama, but guess what? She ain't gonna do nothing.
do nothing.
So do you
because
think it's entitlement? If I can add, you think the kids say
That's what she just said. D.
yes, well, you know,
It's a different, like I can't
Have
put my
authority
finger
over the
on it.
parent. You
Yes.
think that's not entitlement?
Yes.
That's what you just said.
we have to go back to okay. Well, I hate to put it on COVID, but anyway, there's so many. Oh, break you.
No, I'm
Okay.
swing on Waldo on the break. Go ahead, keep
you
going.
have
You
to
can cuss too if you want
No,
to.
I'm good. Okay.
Well, then
But
the
no.
students will know that you really are like that.
Yeah, right. But my whole thing is that you have to look at all the factors. Just like we said,
All
I've been teaching since the
indicators,
'90s. Okay, so and I took a break and I came back to teaching. But you're right. It's a different type of parent because a lot of parents want to pacify their children. And then I taught before cell phones and I've taught after cell phones came to the class. 2015 is when the cell phones came to the classroom, and then they became smart in 2017.
Right.
So now everything is like this is
It's so
crack.
smart,
It's like
it's
crack.
beyond them.
They just like So then you have remember the parents don't want to. They will
Well-
fight you over the phone. They will
Literally,
cuss you out.
and when she say that,
they will fight you over the
physically
phone.
fight you over their phone.
And even though there's laws in place that say you can't have the phone in class, I mean
Rules.
Listen, and you tell the parent,
Not law,
ma'am.
the rule, but
So
okay.
Dave, what happens
wait,
if
it's
they?
legislation.
What
It's
if,
like-
what
It is
happens if?
legislation that's in
It's
there.
legislation,
It's legislation.
laws.
It's laws.
Oh,
in there.
so it's legislated the child can't.
Yes,
That is correct.
it is
Then
a
there's
law
there
right
should be no
now.
discussion.
So
Now
it should be a
So now-
non-negotiable, right?
So now
Yes.
it's
So
no,
now
it
we're
still
shouldn't be.
negotiating.
No.
Now I want to
Now we're
pose a
talking about
question.
leadership now, though. Now you're talking about leadership.
But leadership,
So now I pose a question.
Okay.
What happens? They fight you for the phone and they lose.
so let me say this. As seasoned
Somebody just got
teachers,
in trouble for that.
we don't align. I would never align myself to be in a situation where I'm fighting a child for a phone.
exactly.
Because I have that background knowledge to know that I can look at this child and see that they have no emotional intelligence to be able to determine, decipher between, am I going to make a very bad choice to where Miss Cobb is going to respond? Or I'm going to make a very good choice and let Miss Cobb not respond.
Correct.
So I'm going to help them by saying, you know what?
But they can feel pain.
Keep that.
They
Keep
can feel
that
pain.
phone. But when I get on the phone with the parent, I'm going to definitely explain where that situation went and where it could have gone. And please know that no child is going to be allowed to ever put their hands on me. That's not happening.
Yeah.
And I don't respond ever.
The thing is, too, you have to understand, you have to have standards in your classroom. I mean, yes, they're going to be on the phone. They're going to try. But if you don't come in with this is the level of expectation I want. This is how I want you to behave in class. This is what, and I really don't have a lot of fights with the kids with the phone. I mean, you have one or two that's always going to try
everybody,
They're
though.
going to try everybody. You got the ones who want to wear the headphone in class and all that stuff. But you know for a fact that once they realize everybody else is following what the standard I lay down for everybody. Now you're the odd man out. You're gonna start to self-regulate because you realize nobody else in class is trying me but you. You're the only one. So it's like literally walking a tightrope. And then you also with parents. Some parents like that child need the phone because they got to get in touch with me. But one of the things that we keep telling them is this. Ma'am,
It's
this
phones
is
at the school.
No, thank you.
There you
this
go.
This is a middle school child.
What can
that
they-
child can't sign themselves out.
Nope.
That child can't leave campus.
Nope.
I said, do you realize that the two things I've just already said, the difference between me and you? I'm the adult. and you're the child. So why is your parent? We have to educate the parent. Stop calling your child at school, because no matter what, you've just shut down their education. They can't leave campus. They can't fix the problem. They can't do it. Why are you calling them, giving them bad news? Wait till the end of the day. Call the school directly. Let them go to the office so they're out of the classroom situation. Because now they done for the day. You can't teach them anything for the day if you're calling them constantly on your phone.
And I always play devil advocates with Denise with this, and I remind her that those same parents are the same ones went through this same process in the public school setting at the same schools that they may have experienced trauma in those environments, to where they just like, I know, because I hear it all the time. I just heard it, last week. I know how all you all teachers are at that school. All you all do is this.
Oh, wow.
And all you all do is that. It was nothing positive come from that parent. And I'm saying to myself, you don't even know me.
Right.
You don't know that I will go to war for a child that I think that, yes, does that child need to be suspended? Yes. However, is home life or community life going to put them more in a damaging situation than being in school? Look, they can stay in my classroom all day. It's still out of school suspension. It's just on site. We'll call it whatever it needs to be called. But the key thing is, don't put them in a line of fire where they're going to possibly be in a situation that's worse than being at school.
Money home.
So that's the language that we hear. Like, a lot of parents come out just fighting, and I understand
They're
the fight.
traumatized.
I understand the fight.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to believe that every adult don't have just not targeting your child.
Right.
They're not. We don't have a reason to. Hell, we struggling every day.
But I think that's something that is bigger than just, like you say, within the community and children today, where if I know nothing's going to happen to me, that basically means, you know what, I got a green light. I'm finna come in here and just conduct myself any way I want to. And I go home and nothing's going to get done.
And the problem with that is you are setting those children up for failure.
Agreed.
Because now, if they don't know now that there's consequences for their actions, when they go out there in the street, the police is going to show them they have consequences for their action. I mean, people, it's not going to be a pleasant situation for them. And that's why it's important that we keep them in check while they're in middle school, do the best that we can with them. Because I'm telling you, that a lot of them just don't understand real consequences. Like I told the kids, they love to tap box and slap each other and stuff, all that, drag each other. I've never seen such aggressive boys pulling and dragging these girls, and these girls think it's funny. That's
Girls?
They will drag a girl down the hall by her hair. It's a norm.
It's in school.
And the girls will
It's
sit there and say, we just playing. But what I need to explain to them, I say, if you're 13 right now, in the state of Florida in 3 years, you can drop out of school, which means you're not going to be truant, which means the police going to get you. So what you're doing right now that's cute is going to be considered assault in 3 years.
Correct.
I said, I'm trying to tell you to keep your hands to yourself. I cannot stress that enough with these
My father told me, he said, if you don't raise your kids, prison will.
Yes,
it will.
Absolutely.
Prison will. He always, say that. I'd be like, but when he's right though, and like you said, it's just such a difficult time, and I want to salute both of y'all, because what y'all do is thankless work.
Yes.
It never ends, and it's like you take it
And
home
are
with you.
severely underpaid.
Right. So they're gonna take what
absolutely.
you grossly underpaid. And it's like, I sit back and think, I saw coaches, high school football coaches, make $225,000 a year.
Of course. And they cuss the children out too on top of that.
That's something I don't understand.
What blows me, you say one horrible word to the child, like, okay, I told you to sit down, right? Sit your ass. Anyway, and then, but yet the parent want to cuss you to death. But meanwhile, I could go to that football field and watch that coach cuss at your child, everything on the child.
We all played sports in school. You got cussed
now
at, right?
the coach ain't gonna never.
You got cussed at, right?
What's the mindset behind that, you think?
The coach never gonna be in trouble.
About allowing coaches to
cuss out your child.
Because the coaches are.
Go ahead, and I want to hear it.
The coaches.
What? Because
they just have more leeway with the parents.
How? Because I'm educating your child.
Are you asking about why?
Are
you asking why does a coach cuss at
Yes.
The coach has more.
Because I want you to do what I told you.
What makes it okay?
That's not why. But the parents are accepting it because
No,
they
she's
want.
asking why is the coach cussing?
Why is he allowed
to do that?
Why is he allowed?
Because the parents. You not gonna get their son. You not gonna get their son to the NFL. That's what the parents.
He will never get to the NFL.
We talk about that.
I've been teaching 26 years. It's 26
That's the
years.
problem.
I've been
Not to
teaching.
the parent.
No,
the
let me
coaches
help
are
you.
not doing a
26
justice to our
children.
the children when they're not giving those raw stats.
A plastic
That's why I have
trophy.
such
A
a
plastic
problem
trophy.
with. We playing on fields to 9 to 10 o'clock at night.
For a plastic
but
trophy.
they can't damn read.
Thank you. So now here it is. Now you got a parent who look. I've been teaching 26 years. The only thing, and I got to shout out to Lil Juan Pablo. The only person in 26 years, he became a minor. What is it? What do you call it? When they lightweight boxers, they welterweight. What do you call
Lightweight.
that? Okay,
Yeah.
that's the only one that ever made it to a professional sport. A lightweight boxer. That was a child I taught in 2000.
But piggybacking on what you said, and you talked about like
And
with
he's still
football,
NFL players yet.
a lot of parents look at athletics as the way out.
And
the way
They
out.
don't look
But
at
if they
don't
cannot
look at the middle
academically
school as
perform, there's no way in.
Thank you.
I understand, but a lot of times, there are certain areas, certain schools, where academics is secondary. So
I will. What do you mean certain schools?
I'm just saying that
certain
there's
schools, certain areas,
certain areas where if you play ball and you like that may not apply at
every
some
school.
institutions, but there are some where.
Meaning public schools.
Public school. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Y'all mean in public schools? We don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying
Public schools. It could be a private school here and there.
But when you have, and I think that's the thing nowadays.
It could be a private school here and there.
when you see kids today that
I don't know.
don't really
Depending
excel
on the
in
talent
school,
level, we can make something
I
work.
knew I had to have grades. I know he had to have grades. I know he had to have grades. You had to have grades. That was the thing. Like we had eligibility where you had to meet requirements.
I wasn't good enough to not have grades, and even if I didn't have grades, my mom wasn't.
Yeah,
gonna allow me to play.
my mom went with that.
So
She
it
damn what
didn't
their
matter.
GPA is. This is what you got to have if you want to play, and that's it.
And that's that's the other thing. You can even put it in front of the parents. I was like, listen, this child has a negative. Sorry, it has a 0.8 GPA. You need a 2.0 to at least play beginning sports, right?
See, they playing little league, so that don't.
No, but
it's
even
not right.
when you show it, because I taught 8th graders at one point in time. I'm teaching 7th graders this year. But the 8th graders, I'm showing them, I said, baby, you need a 2.0 just to play. I said, you're a 0.8, whatever. And it's like they're not making the connection. I said, then you still got to take this to college. You still got to take this on. I said,
Oh, you're not going to college.
You ain't going, right. And that's what they understand. You're going to be used in high school to get the high school to the winning trophy or
Right.
champion win,
Right.
and then they're gonna drop you. They're gonna drop
No,
you.
they're not. There's enough kids to get. Part of the problem is we're not honest enough.
Yeah.
One, I can get anybody to do what you do in my system if everybody's good enough. And I know there's, levels to everything. And we'll see.
Because everybody's not a playmaker.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna be a playmaker because one, you're not performing here, and you're not going to get a chance to perform anywhere else. There's a reason they give a Wonderlic, right? There's a reason why they give a whole bunch of different tests on the way up. If you're talking about in football,
Education,
you're not going to get here. Period.
And then
Just
the
say
thing
it.
is,
And
though,
you ain't
that-
even eligible to go get shot anymore, Waldo, because now, well, I don't know about when you joined. When I joined, there was an option you can go to war, go to jail. There was also the you could get into the military without a high school diploma. Now you can barely get in with some college. So you got to be educated to get shot.
But piggybacking on what Miss Denise spoke on, if you have inadequate grade point averages in middle school, you still can play little league sports.
Okay.
Which is a travesty.
That's a travesty right there. Because once again, we're not teaching accountability.
Right.
Now, coaches claim we do a weekly report. What your grades
They
looking
don't.
like?
They don't.
lies.
They do it the first week of school. Let me break it down because I've
Well,
been doing it for
everybody-
20 plus
well,
years.
everybody got good
They
grades
do it the
per
first.
week.
Exactly. The first week of school, everybody do great. And
Got
I
all A's,
don't
mama.
see it ever
You showed-
happening
you showed
again.
up, huh?
And I'm
Because they're
like,
doing so good. Why would they need to check
but
again?
that's the thing, and that's the problem. Because
They're
I'm like,
doing so well.
I'm like, this child can't pronounce a word, can't spell a word, can't conjugate a verb, can't tell me what the basic principles, that can't tell a metaphor from an idiom, can't tell illusion. Help me.
Me either.
Y'all still do
Okay, I know.
y'all still do sentence diagramming?
But
Do you all still do sentence diagramming, or is that out?
no, that's out.
That's
just
so
like cursive.
antiquated,
That's
yeah.
like cursive. It's out.
That's antiquated.
But however, we still reading them old antiquated text. But anyway, that's a whole nother issue.
Wait,
With
We
that
need
in the
kids
book.
just to be able
You
to
said you're
critically
reading
think.
antiquated
Let's
text.
just
Yeah,
stop
that's-
there. The critical thinking
that's-
skills, they don't have
that's
none
big,
of
yeah.
that.
Right.
But you mentioned that, and I was gonna, me and Genius over here talk about the, and I did mean that loosely and was being very facetious in
Yeah.
saying it.
Right.
But
Sarcasm
The,
at its
sta-
finest.
Oh, there you go.
the standard. Well, we talk. There's no reason that the standard is lower today than it was for us. It should be off the charts. And
I
one of the
don't-
reasons we struggle in this nation globally is because the standard is so low.
No.
The standard is not lower. If
no.
you're referencing to what you saying, do they teach that whole
Right.
graph anymore? That the graph just
No.
was an antiquated system.
Yes.
Now let's go back to it. The kids cannot critically think.
Exactly.
Right.
You can put a
That's
what you
part
call
of the
a
stand-
sentence
but
stem in
teach-
front of them.
That's part of the standard. The standard
said
don't have to
sentence
believe.
stem?
It don't have to be with you all. You all are strangers. The onus of my child's education can't be to a dang stranger. It has to start at home.
Sit at home.
All right.
It has to be at home.
Okay, let's pose this question.
I know
That's always
big
what it
dummies
means.
make
Yeah.
little dummies.
Yeah.
And typically a dumbass and another dumb double X chromosome and a dumb XY chromosome.
Using calling people dumbasses. Just want to
Well,
say that.
Well, no. These are Greg's opinions. I said it before, and
Okay,
it's
we just
Chagret
wanna
Doss.
make
You can Google me. But the reality is, I should say a dirty foot and a thug ain't gonna create a Rhodes Scholar. So whatever the trailer park
It's possible,
equivalent is.
Oh, I was going to say that's very. I can tell you.
possible. Okay,
Two
you do the-
crackhead parents.
do
I'm
the-
here.
We can do the Punnett squares and say, okay, but there's an exception and there's a rule.
You went to Gary Adult though.
No, lies. Hold on, back up. I graduated. I had all my credits. I was an honor roll student.
Okay,
Fix it.
okay.
They kicked me out because my grandmother
Yeah.
was where the light go up in
She was a
here.
good student, man. You ain't gonna let you do that now. You got to bounce, bro. Yeah.
So in order for her
Get
not
it
to go to
together.
jail,
Win.
they
Snap
made
your
the
fingers.
change.
Snap your fingers on them too.
I just
But-
want
okay,
y'all
be
I just
clear.
want y'all to know that.
But-
Miss-
but-
clear.
Miss
Which one is
Cobb
Miss
is
Cobb?
about that life.
Be
Sister
clear.
Cobb,
Miss
Sister Cobb,
Carter,
right.
but here we go.
Correct.
You went right back to my point. Where was the standard set for you?
Well, let's be honest. I set my own standards because
Correct.
I didn't want to be what my mother and my daddy were.
Everybody
But,
not
That's
built
it.
like that.
but grandma,
Grandma worked at Singleton Seafood.
But- okay, but
she had
everybody
an
not
8th grade
built like that.
education.
But let me
Grandfather
tell you-
worked at what was it? Corner Brothers at the
Okay,
time.
but that's a tribute to you.
I had to figure it out.
Okay, right, but this is what I'm saying.
But
So with
there's
that being
always
Everybody
said,
not built like that.
Right.
for
Drive.
thank you.
No,
So
no.
for,
Hey,
hear me out for a minute.
hold on.
Hear me out for a minute.
Genetics is an intelligence.
But you
Is
still-
My mom was
genetic.
very intelligent.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on for
I
a minute.
know
Just got caught up in that
genetics
crap.
are
Right, that's what I'm saying.
intelligence are a part of genetics.
So,
there.
but-
we
but-
know that.
But what I'm trying to get to is that
I know
you
better
have
now.
some kids that come from 2-parent homes.
Oh, you know
And-
what's so
and
interesting
still-
though?
What's
They
that?
the ones that give you the
Most problems.
Ooh.
But
Yes.
because once again, there's limited accountability, and that's the biggest thing. So when you say, okay, let me give you a perfect example. Christmas, we all ride around the neighborhood. At one time growing up, you had basketball goals in the yard, kids playing football, throw the ball around. Everybody now,
Right.
everything now is on. If they're not playing the phone, they're playing the game.
Yes.
So once again, when you talking about life lessons and life skills, those are limited. When we were
I agree
growing
with
up, like I
that.
say, you had a certain amount of time. Okay, I let you play the game for a little while.
Yeah.
But y'all finna go outside. But see now, they wake up on a vacation, 1:30, 2 o'clock. They been up since 4:35
Now I'm gonna
in the
say
morning playing the game.
I will add this extra added caveat to that, right? Society has changed.
You're right.
A lot of times
You're
why
right.
our
Back to my
children
point.
don't go outside is because predators are outside.
Baby,
I
it's
mean,
in our
you know,
minds.
you got
Predators been outside.
Yes,
though.
Wayne
however,
They're so
Wayne
aggressive.
Williams.
They so open with it now.
I
I was in
don't,
Wayne
I don't
Williams.
think, I don't think this is just my opinion. I don't think the predators are more aggressive now. I just think it's. I don't know why. I don't want to use the wrong word. I just think it's more.
More attention is being paid to it now.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's more.
Because in a lot of
social
families, you have
media.
predators in
It's
the
on-
house.
correct.
It's
I
on-
agree
Yeah,
with
yeah, a lot of
it's
families have
on-
predators
So
in
I
the
don't
family.
think it's.
I
I don't
agree
think
with
it's
you on
more
that.
of they are more aggressive. I think the same predators are here that have been here.
Okay.
But it's more awareness of the predators.
I agree with that.
And it's creating fear.
Right.
Right.
There you
But
go. I
also,
agree
but
with
also, you have them. Sorry. You have them connected to the see all the video game stuff talking about. You have them connected to that. They're actually in the systems listening to the kids or playing
That's
the games
what
with the
the-
kids.
the
And-
predators
and
are.
yeah, they are. And so now you have to say to yourself, okay, wait a minute, hold on one second. They're attached to this thing. They're connected to this video game. They love sitting there. You have to monitor. And so but parents are using this as a tool to babysit the kids.
Parenting.
And so that's your parenting. So it's like now you have just a whole system of collapse. It's like where the parent is allowing this thing to babysit their children.
Listen, we grew up in Atlanta in the Wayne Wayne Williams area. I don't know if y'all up on Wayne Williams, but Wayne Williams allegedly killed over 35 kids between 1979 and 1983.
The milk carton kids.
Now, they weren't milk cartons, but he was getting kids out of low-income areas, single-parent homes. That was his target. So I would tell a funny story because my sister just brought it up, and we just having a conversation. My mom and dad one day we were going to the store, going to the mall for something. Couldn't find my sister. So we outside. I mean, oh my God, they got
Wayne done got her.
They done got.
We didn't know it was Wayne at the time, but yeah.
But no, you didn't know the name, but they done picked up my sister, Daryl. They done picked her up. That's what we thinking. So this go like from like 5:30 to like 7:15. My mama crying, I'm outside looking like I don't know where my sister is, but just so happened she's around the corner on her, and left her bike like to the side. Cause we walked. I ain't see the bike. And she came around the corner like it wasn't there. When I tell you my dad grabbed her off that bike, and got on a decent. But I say that to say there was a healthy fear in the city during that time. Because even some city like, okay, I'm finna walk to my friend's house. Okay, well, you walking with somebody? Right. Yes, ma'am. Okay, we gonna walk to the mall. How many of y'all going together? 4 or 5 of us. Okay, well, make sure, when you get there, here's a quarter. Call me and let me know you made it.
Dime.
Dime. Scout. All right, call me anytime. Satisfaction guarantee. You're right. My man, dime. Excuse me. I had to catch up.
So I say I definitely was. I am a part of that fear. So that's one of the things that I know. So my stepdaughter, she was going to school. She's gonna ride the bus home. She in middle school from Williams. She gonna ride the bus home, and I'm like, so who gonna walk with, like, who gonna be with her, like, when she come from the bus stop? The bus stop is from here to Furman. Like, it ain't that far at all. But my first thing in my head was somebody gonna get her.
Somebody can grab her.
Like, that's you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing in my head. Yeah. Like, now I'm thinking about it. I was like, bro, I was tripping. Like, she just walking home from the bus stop, just like I did. Like, you know what I mean? It's just.
But it's not just like you did.
It ain't
But it is, though.
That's even like.
But it is.
But you sit back and think, how many kids are home alone? Yeah. Say if your parent works overnight at the club, whatever they doing.
He said the club.
That does happen. Hey,
he said
but in the 80s, we would have latchkey kids, though.
If we're going to have conversation, let's have conversation. See, our era, you had aunties or bigger cousins that babysat.
Yeah.
So we'd all be like in a group, 7, 8 deep. We would watch. Stay in here, and we, y'all all right. But see, now you got those that ain't got to hit the club, and they shut down, might go to Denny's, whatever. They might not come home 5:36 in the morning. So you have a lot of children that are fending for themselves.
But you also had children that understood when a parent said, don't open the door.
Don't open the door.
Go in the house.
Yes.
Call me when you get there. These kids going to take the long route, and if I call you, I will. If I respond to your call, when you call, I can. And, it's different.
There is a lot of secondary conversations that probably would have ended with a punch in the mouth.
Right, I agree.
And that, now... that bothers me, because the thing that always gets me is when I sit down and have conferences with parents, and I'm asking the parents, I say, well, did you check the child phone, right?
No.
And the parent is asking me, what do you mean by that? But not just that.
do you have
the code to unlock your child phone? And they're gonna tell me no. I'm like, sis, that's your phone. That's your money. How are you telling me, as somebody who is 11 and 12, you the adult and you don't have a code? You can't unlock your own child phone? I said that phone should be put in some place.
I'm just sitting back and trying to process. I couldn't even try my mom and dad like that.
No, that's a norm.
That's a norm. That's what we did. That's what we did all the time.
And with teeth.
And they would tell me, closed doors, bro. You talking about phone?
And I tell parents, I say, why is the phone with the child at night? The phone should be put in a place where it's charging, where everybody's phone is centrally located. And I don't understand. You got kids coming to school and they dead tired. Why? Because they've been on the phone all night. Yeah. And then remember the beef in school. The beef. Okay, you call it knuckle. We know our 50s. But in the beef in school now is like their parents will ask us, well, why you didn't know, ma'am? All of your child's drama is taking place on social media
before they get here.
When they bring it to school now, we can't understand why there's a fight at 8:30 in the morning because they've been fighting all night on the phone.
To the onus of responsibility. You see, if a parent asks a teacher, I'm asking a stranger, why you didn't prevent my child from doing.
How would I know?
asked a lot of questions.
How would I know though?
My point is that there's no logic to that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So how do I know? So they insist.
There's a lot of logic to it.
They insist that we should know everything, but
The
I don't
parents
have
aren't logical.
access to it, to your child's information. I don't have access to your child's
It's
information.
illogical.
But let me
Right,
ask
right.
you this if I can.
Oh, it's hot in here.
When you have
Listen, we just got
these
Waldo
scenarios,
breathe heavy.
and I know it's hard to try
I'm
to
just angry.
keep a straight face. Like I know, like you tripping right now. Are you serious? You know what I mean? Because they come in with the thought process, like, you know what? It's your fault.
Right, it is always.
It's your fault. It's never my baby. My baby ain't did nothing wrong. It's your
So
fault.
Yeah.
Of course it's your
to
baby
go
fault. That's my position.
into that, I just want to, like, how do y'all deal with that? Like, as far as like a parent coming in, as far as a parent coming in,
and I will tell you how.
and
I
they
do it.
and
Put
they're
Vaseline on your face. and
my-
put your gloves on.
my
Shake your
child
hands.
is not this type of child. I know my child is not this type of child, and why would you say my child did that? How do y'all address that, or is there a tactic, or how do you guys get
Tactic.
across to the parent as far as
So for me, I'm the same every day that I was the initial teacher that I walked in the DW Waters Career Center. I'm consistent. I'm what they
all we
consider
can
a
ask.
very aggressive, assertive teacher.
Assertive.
I don't. It's a little aggressive too.
Yeah, true.
Because
Like,
my
like, hold on,
expectations
hold on,
won't
like Joe
change.
Clark? Like Joe
no,
Clark
no.
from
My
Russia?
expectations won't
okay.
change. Meaning that you cannot tell me because you're a level 1 you can't do the math. I need to know what deficits you have so we can fill those gaps so you can do the math. So it's not that's a non-negotiable for me. So a lot of times parents will come to me and say, you're doing too much. My child can't do it. That's your expectation for the child. But if they're in my classroom, this is what I expect.
Yeah.
and it's what you should be doing.
Exactly. So when they always came to me like that, they were, I want them out the class and da-da-da-da-da. We want to get them out. But then when they go to the next room, like, I want them back over. No.
Yeah, you're not
You
coming
wanted them
over
out.
here.
Because now you're seeing that those learning gaps that needed to be filled in, that was too much for you. It was too much for your child, but no, it was for you. It was too much for you.
Right. Because you can't help
Because your child wanted to be not held accountable for
Correct.
the work.
Correct.
So for me, it always begins with, for me it was, how did I deal with it? It was a non-negotiable. You can do one or two things. You can either help me get your child to understand my expectations, or you have the right to remove your child from my classroom.
You have homebound
Simple.
education. I hear that.
Exactly.
You have homebound education in this state.
When it comes to me, like a lot of times, I started off for years with intensive reading. So when intensive reading means you're getting the lowest level, I've always taught the lowest level kids, right? So my objective is to move them to where the state says
correct.
that they can pass these standardized state tests. And a lot of times, so I encounter a lot of behavior problems, right? So when I come across the parents, and the parents are like, it's you, you don't like my child, you don't, and I start off by saying to them, I said, well, how you quell a lot of that question you asked about, well, how you deal with the behaviors or the angry parents and stuff. First thing I said to them, I said, well, what do you know about your own child's data?
She do. And I
she
get
get
every
triggered.
time.
Because you
they
coming at
don't
me
know.
with attitude,
They
behavior,
don't know.
you coming at me, cussing at me.
That's-
I
but
said,
that's
but the
not-
first
that's
thing I
not
said to you,
unreasonable.
But how
but
they
the first thing
respond?
I do,
I'm sitting
no,
there like,
Oh, yeah.
no, you
cares?
You heard how all of y'all got quiet?
Who
That's
cares?
literally
No, I didn't.
no. Literally, that's what they do, because now you realize I hear all that drama and that you come in with, right? However, let's talk about the root cause. Your
Yeah.
child
Why
can't
aren't-
read.
why aren't
Your
you a
child
better
can't
parent?
read. Exactly. Your
Yeah,
child
exactly.
can't
Why
read.
aren't you a
So
better
now
parent?
let me show you what your child should be at age 14,
Right.
and where your child is at right now. Your child reads on a 3rd grade reading level.
If
Now
that.
that shuts it down right there,
that.
because now we got to come back to the problem. How do you not know that your 14-year-old child reads on a 3rd grade reading level?
Well, that was
I can read higher than that.
consistent. I
That's
had that
good.
issue,
Good
and
for
I
you.
was.
So
I left
I
education.
just-
I went
so-
in 91 and left education in 94 or 5.
Oh, so
and that's the
not committed,
bad.
huh?
It was, no, UPS paid more money.
I was just saying,
but
not committed. No, I'm
yeah,
just
that
playing,
too.
I'm
UPS
just
paid more
playing.
money.
All right,
Always
all right.
wrong. But the problems existed. But one of the things that I noticed when I stepped in, because I would come out of the military, and I think I just made sure I said what I first noticed was that classrooms didn't get quiet when the principal. Well, students didn't get quiet when the principal walked into a room, and I said, not my first job in education in Tallahassee. I said that's odd, because the principal immediately stoked fear in us.
Yeah, that was
And,
respect.
and,
that was different
and it was,
then.
and it was a little bit different. And I was at Bond. I started at Pinecrest Elementary, then went to Bond. But this is community at this point. And the standard in the community when it comes to education has dropped. That's on us. We can't put it on everybody else. And I just think that not telling the truth is how we got here. Because when you was dumb, they said you was dumb. Whether they said it nicely, or, you're not.
No,
performing
you
up
could
to
say
standard.
retarded back then.
No, well, you can say it back then. You're not allowed to now.
Yes, you could.
You definitely could say.
But that was a little.
You can't
crude,
say
but
it
I mean,
now.
but
You might have to
this is
bleep that
this is
out
what
on
this is what I
on the
go
show,
back
but-
to. Like you spoke about the parenting aspect of it.
Dump button.
I think something that
Well, we just speaking back
we
in
wanted
the days.
That's
to be the
correct.
best.
That's correct.
Giving it
and
context.
that was our generation. It was like, you had other minds in the class, other students, who were really good, excelled, and you didn't want to be the person that was always had the lowest grade.
Right. But nowadays, it's
You have to
reversed. It's reversed because let's go back to those two-parent households, right? You have a two-parent, a kid coming from two-parent. I have a perfect example of one right in my class right
What
now.
name? What name?
I can't tell the child name. Are you kidding? But anyway,
Man,
you
what's
come
up,
from a
man?
two-parent
Waldo.
household. A two-parent household. Your parents
Okay.
make good money, great
Very.
salary, but you want to be with the thugs. You
Find them.
come in dressed like that, you talking like that, you cussing everybody up, and you're an embarrassment to your parent because when your parents come and I'm looking at your parents like, I said, man,
Do you
I
know
said,
this child
I
is
would have
sending
thought
it?
your child grew up in the projects because the way, look at you.
Wait a minute.
I said the way your child swear he's slinging nickel sacks
Yeah.
on the corner because the way, ma'am, your child, I would never believe you are the product of this household because
Right.
so now it's reversed because these kids really emulate.
It's the
but
image.
let's go ahead. It's the image that they
they wanna
emulate.
fit in.
They
Malibu
want to
was
fit in
wanted.
like,
They-
yeah.
they
It's
wanna
not
fit
no,
in.
they don't
No.
want to fit in. They want to be they want to be the top
Yeah.
dog in this imagery.
But meanwhile, you can't fight. Let's be real. You know you
But I
can't
mean,
fight.
but I think something also that triggered that
Yeah.
too is that it goes back to the
Calm
same
out.
thing. If I can come here and harass and badger y'all for 7-8 hours a day and know ain't nothing gonna happen when I get home, let's run that. I'm gonna do this.
But I always be like, I always get the side eye when people say it's the parents, it's the parents, it's the parents, it's the
Not
parents, it's the parents, it's the parents. It may very well be. But if we set the expectation high enough on a
Yes.
school campus where we're
Yes.
all on the same page
Okay.
and there's no weakest link that's so weak all the time to where they just fold and melt and everything else because they want to be the children's friend, we would be okay. Because again, like I said, I grew up, rough. It was rough for me. But I knew that when I arrived on that school campus outside of that one AP that was trying to make me out an example because she was scared of the other parents. That's the only reason why she chose me. She was scared of the other parents, and I was the quiet child. She was going to make that example out of me,
Right.
not knowing that I had a thug grandma. But anyway,
Speculation,
If
false state of mind. but
you just have one opportunity to say to a kid, this was expected. This is what we're going to do. My colleague here is going to be in alignment. She may not necessarily agree with it, but she's going to be in alignment with it
Correct.
for the sake of us doing what's best for that
Yes, for
kid.
the team, exactly.
You just don't have that. Some are just showing up for the extra funds.
Right.
So
And they need to just, and I was
And they
saying,
need to go.
openly,
They need to go
somewhere else.
someplace else.
Please go somewhere else. You're not helping the children.
You're not.
You're creating more
Absolutely not.
trauma. You're creating more gaps in the overall just learning of that child. And it's just creating more of a deficit in that community.
Yes.
The family. It's just go.
And you're also hurting the teaching staff as well.
Yes.
Because if everybody is not following the same path, you got this teacher, like when they come to my room, there's expectations. This is what they expect. I mean, I could walk away from the door. Them kids will know to get everything organized. They
Right.
know because I have a set of procedures that we follow daily. And so people walk in and say, "Why they so quiet? They do it because they follow the steps." But then they go to right next door, go down the hall or whatever. Chaos because we allowed to run around, cuss at each other, do whatever, show up late,
But
no
But
attendance.
you have skills that classroom taking
It's classroom management. It really is.
No, I had when I was at Mort. She thought, well, I took these classes, but you're not a leader.
It's not about class.
No, you have a set of skills that may have been endowed to you by the creator, what do you want to call it. You can do something that didn't take you taking that. You didn't have to take the class to be able to do what you can do for the kids. And unfortunately, I don't know who your peers may be, but these skills used to be more prevalent in our community. Maybe because we had just a universal standard and then you get your ass knocked out. You know,
That's
that
true.
standard kept everybody in check or to some degree. It's just gone.
I want to ask y'all, I want y'all to be honest and very transparent. Do you have members of your staff that you feel are afraid of the kids?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. They're young. Here's the thing: they're either afraid of them or they want to be their friend, so that they don't have to fear them. And that's the problem. It's like, and then they go back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, I ain't going back and forth with no child.
You ain't supposed to.
I mean, you're not supposed to ever. And so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and to be clear, it's not just where we're at now. We can look at this
everywhere.
from my originally starting my education career at
27
DW
years
Waters.
ago.
Yeah. There was just some, but when I came into the space, the expectation once again was there, and now those same students that I thought probably hate me forever,
They will run you down
They
the
now
store.
will run me down, be like, I remember when you said, and I remember when you was this way, and I
It
remember
came to
when you,
fruition.
so and it was
exactly.
like, and I know why you did it and why you were that way, and it still stands true today. But again.
They don't even remember the one that was trying to be their friend.
Right.
I'll
never be their friend.
wonder if they do.
I don't know.
They
But let me ask y'all, because I want to make sure we definitely want to address this. You spoke about the 28-day program that you have. This also Black History Month.
Yes,
So
yes.
I want y'all to
Day
give
2
you-
of Black History
Day
Month.
2, right? Day 2. You're right. So let's get into your diversity.
And equity in education.
Let's run it. There you go.
33,
Proceed.
33
Trump probably gonna
book.
cut that
Go
Take
program.
off.
Something that we started it ourselves, so we didn't care about that. We didn't care nothing about
Yeah, it's
that.
Black History every month. You
So
right.
Yes,
you know
every-
when the C word came out, you know, it just was a matter of a lot of time on our hands.
Yes.
So things that just started, you know, we weren't really paying attention to, kind of showed up.
Yeah.
Discipline was one of them. I was working at Adams Middle School, and
I was at
Shout
young.
out.
It was a young middle
no,
magazine.
you should have been at Greco.
I was,
No.
it was
I'm
like
talking about.
2020.
I know I ain't got that yet.
Oh, okay, let's go back.
Slow down.
All right, my bad.
So
We've been all over.
And so let's go back up. So back up, I was at Adams Middle School, and there was
Okay.
this big old, like how y'all have the green screen there. It was a big chart on the wall like that, and it was discipline data, you know. And I was new to the academic side of teaching in Hillsborough County Public Schools. So I saw it, and you know, I was like, oh, you know, I'm just sitting there eating my lunch, and I'm like, this can't be right. Like the numbers can't be right, because how is it that Black boys are representing the majority when they are the minority in the school? So I went, you know, skipping to the AP office like, hey, you all got this wrong, because that's impossible. And that was that epiphany to me that, oh no, it's not. They are being suspended 3 to 4 times more than their peers. And most want to say because it's duplicates. In most cases, it's not.
No.
It's not duplicates. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm a new teacher. I'm teaching academics. I just been, you know, booted up from DW Waters to over here to Adams. Let me not ruffle too many feathers. Let me just kind of see where this is going.
Okay.
So then I got, you know, in my swing of things, teaching math, and I just kind of, be honest, forgot about it. Fast forward, COVID came
we talking about
around, and it was
COVID.
like, you know what? I wonder what this impact is doing for these children at home. You know, that was all this discipline, and they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that. And, you know, what does that look like now? So what I started to notice is when it was time to turn on those cameras, most of our kids weren't there.
No.
Where are they? They're home. We've sent home the computers. We've done we done done everything. We done drove up, masked up, throw the computers out the window. Here, get this, you know, make
Right.
sure these
They've
kids
been all in Bella
But where
Heights.
are they?
All in Bella
And
Heights.
it's not because they weren't showing up, because we have a problem with the digital divide.
Yes.
And it's like, okay.
East Tampa, big time.
Yes, and I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
So fast forward, we're back on campus. The data now is even more than what it was, and nobody will talk about this. We start asking for the data. Listen, show us the numbers to tell us, like, we back from COVID now. What does this look like for our children? You know, what does the data show?
I want to slow you down. What numbers are you speaking on? What numbers?
Referrals,
yeah.
out of any type of discipline.
about
In-school
discipline.
suspension.
It could be
out-of-school
just discipline.
suspension,
It could be
Okay.
out of school.
Just wanted to
suspension.
clear it up for the people that's listening.
Yeah.
So out of school anything that there's a removal from the traditional learning environment. That could be ISS. That could be sitting in the office. That could be whatever it may be. They're not in their design. They're not in their scheduled classroom environment. So fast forward, we start reaching out to whomever that will possibly listen. All board members at the time,
Everybody.
not some. the public defender at the time, Andrew Warren. Not public defender.
No, he was the
He's
state attorney.
Then the
One of
public
the
defender at the time, which
That was
was
just chill.
Holt.
Julianne Holt.
Julianne
Yeah,
Holt.
and then you had DJJ, which was an agency over there. Everyone that we could speak to, state reps.
Yep.
Fentress Driscoll,
And
which is
Diane
an
Hart.
attorney.
Fentress
Diane
Driscoll, yeah.
Hart.
Yep.
What's her name?
He's about to be replaced by Robin.
Goolsby.
Yep.
You name it. Valdez. We reached out to all of them to be like, hey,
Susan Valdez?
Yeah.
something is wrong.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of promises made. There was a lot of conversations had. But we sit here right here today
Same
to say
problem.
that it's the same problem.
They said it was like a 1% change or something
Right.
like that. I'm like, that doesn't do anything. I mean, okay, here was some of the excuses that we got, which was, well, in a school that's predominantly black, of course you're going to have a high number of suspensions. Okay, I get that, okay? But at the same time, overall in Hillsborough County, remember the Hispanic population, black population, and then the white, all those numbers are different. So you can't keep telling me that the black kids, and we forget the big factor, predominantly white teachers.
Right.
So
Right.
these are white teachers who
Cultural
are
competency.
they're cultural
Emphasis.
competency, who are now there's something that would just
I like
blow
that.
past me. I would be like, man, please, boy, go sit down. You know,
Right.
it wouldn't even bother me at all. Now,
Right.
I feel threatened. Da, da, da. Do you imagine how it was when they remember what year was that when they said, oh, we will arm the teacher? I said, you want to talk about mass murders?
That'd be
I
mass
said
murder.
because
Crazy.
Susan
That
and Nancy
terrified
would just
me.
take you out because you looked at her funny. Okay, I said this is not what we need.
Let's put our disclaimer in here, though.
Yeah.
We want to.
Hold on. When Waldo, we went to that school board meeting, China, you and I, when I said, I used to come all the time, so someone would recognize me. I remember, this is, how many years ago it was, I knew that less than 25% of African American males in Hillsborough County were graduating within their 4 years.
Yeah, the number was crazy. Like the number, like when I heard the number, I was like, this got to be inaccurate or something. Like it can't be.
And that's why it's important
where
that
it
we've
was built
said to the
from. Now
community
they're
so
giving
many
you the foundation,
times.
so
We
now
need
you
to
see how it was
segregate the
built.
data. We don't want the clump
The
data.
clump,
right.
We need the
yes,
data
exactly.
to be separated, and we need to see what that actually looks like
Per school.
And yes, we got the 91%
Yeah.
graduation rate now
Yeah.
in Hillsborough County
Yeah.
Public
Yeah.
Schools. Could we pull it apart?
We want to
please?
see what that looked like.
Pull it apart so we can look at it closely.
Do you think
So
that's
how
something
was
they
it?
want to do? Or?
How was it separated though? Like what was it?
Most of the time, it's just lumped all together.
Right,
Just say
right.
that this is the number of students that's graduating. It's an increase overall for our district.
But who's graduating?
But
But
who?
who?
Right.
And
I wanna
under
know
what-
the who.
and
Okay, I
and
got
how,
you.
how, and who gets the certificates of completion? Who
No
gets,
more.
Yeah. Oh, there's no. Yeah, no.
That's
You
not what
I do.
must graduate. There is no certificate of completion.
Okay.
And remember, when you look at the higher awards, you have to look at the fact that let's be real, be honest. The Indian Americans, Chinese Americans.
That's correct.
You're gonna see the Hispanic Americans, black people way down here. So when you cut those high level awards,
So wait,
it's not
hold
gonna be
on for a
us.
minute. Y'all got middle school kids that don't graduate?
Of course, Daryl.
I'm just really trying to process that.
Well,
Man,
listen,
that's
if
crazy.
you're struggling in the second grade,
Yes.
you're going to be
Say it.
you're going to
Thank
be
you.
mentally checked out by
Yes.
the time you get here.
We have
because
kids
you
that
continue to fall
behind.
Academic gap.
If I'm racing Waldo and he beats me the first 100 by 10,
And you
we
running
stay the pace,
1600.
and by the time we're done, I'm at 1,000 yards and he's at 1,600.
Right. We have kids that miss 80 days of
I'm
school
going
already.
to quit.
What?
80. We ain't
So
been in
you
school.
can't-
We
you
have
can't
we
even
hit
pass
100
then.
days? We had 100
You
days.
just hit 100 days
Right.
probably
Yeah,
like
just
a
hit
couple
100
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Correct. I had a child that walked in the door when the first semester ended. I said, "Boo, school started back in August, right? When the first semester ended, that's 18 weeks of school. That child walked in the first.
So if I
day.
can ask you, scenario, kid doesn't graduate, they don't get through the pomp and circumstance, no certificate for you. What do they do then? Do they come back to the school?
No.
They
probably
done.
have
Thank
a-
you
they
for-
probably-
Thank you for
Being a
playing for
they'll
13
probably
years.
have
We
some sort
done.
of
No, I'm
weapon
talking middle
in
school. So
years.
they have to go somewhere else.
No, middle schoolers could
That's
they can
different.
do
Till
the
they get
ELP or they
16.
can do you must be in school till you're 16 according to the state of Florida and you drop out, you can drop out
Yeah.
legally, whatever. But for middle schoolers they have to stay they have to either do the summer school program, they have to do ELP during the school year. They have to do something to make up those grades,
We're
okay?
Still doing ELP?
Yeah, they're doing ELP
We're still
still,
faking.
yeah.
We're still
I just
faking
really-
that.
that's
We're still
crazy.
faking that.
You're right because
Still
my thing
faking
is
through that
how you gonna make
BS.
up a whole semester in a couple of days
Come on,
on
man.
campus? I mean that's not
Come
I
on,
don't
we
agree
gotta
with
do
none of
better
that
than
either.
this.
But I think it's just trying to. I don't know if
I
it's
blame
just
you, Waldo.
pushing the kids.
I don't see
through,
anything wrong with night school.
Which
and
I
summer
don't
school.
think is fair.
Who
Either.
I'm
Like you
thinking
said,
about?
when they can't you sit back and think about a 14-year-old kid that reads at the level of a
He's not
9-year-old.
He's not reading.
That's not encouraging.
Calvin did this. Calvin and Sean came together. Shout out to Sean McDowell when I was DJ Squid years ago. Calvin was in the 2nd grade because his assistant principal was full with his wife. He did a chart about functional illiteracy, and in functional literacy, this is years ago.
They can graduate. Mm-hmm.
Right, and what it predicted, and I wish I still had it, is that the functional illiteracy rate was going to increase in number versus coming down. And this is when so you got to think, Calvin's in his 4 or 5 year, he's a senior in college now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He did this when he was in 2nd grade with the inspiration of Sean. And I'm like, why y'all talking about this? But Sean said the first time he heard about it is when he read it, or he saw either an article. In fact, there's an article from the January 1986. I forgot the magazine when the shuttle.
That was Ebony.
And he said dysfunctional. Well, I remember when the shuttle blew up. I was I was in class and saw it. He said that the dumbing down of America, when they kind of had an idea that it was starting to happen, and here we are today. And a lot of the issues I have with people who come to me for help is they really cannot.
They really
read.
can't.
But what about the kid that's really trying to excel? Like, because I know you got some.
The kids that's trying to excel not gonna have a problem.
No.
Yeah, but it's not that. But you in that environment, like, to me.
But they not gonna have a problem though, D. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
As a kid, if you're trying to excel,
you didn't let me finish. But I was asking if
I
you're
think
in
I
that
know what he's
classroom
trying to
environment.
say. And then you have kids that's disruptive.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get to. Thank you, Waldo.
You will have disruptive kids,
Thank
and that's the thing. You do have kids who are in the classroom who really want to excel, and then you have the ones who just constantly create a problem. I mean, my whole thing is identify them quickly. I'm like, I need you to come up out of this classroom because we're over here in an advanced class, and you're going to drag everybody else down with you. And then not only just in terms because they'll be distracted. The rest, they'll distract. They'll distract. No, it's just
honesty.
But the problem is they're going to infect, and that's the word I use. You're going to infect the other kids because yes, you are because
like Magic
these
Johnson.
kids over here. I'll get to that. These kids over here are doing well, and now
Stay positive.
because everybody over here, he is hilarious. Over here is all they're sitting there saying, "Well, he getting away with this bad behavior. I might as well act bad too and carry on too in the class." And that creates a problem for me because I'm trying to get you all to be to the next level to where you're successful. And it's like that's where again with these teachers when they don't have help. This is where they struggle. That's why a lot of teachers will walk out and leave. Like I said, we don't have a teacher problem. We have a lack of support.
We don't have a teacher shortage.
We have support. The support issue
does not exist.
Because
we're not dying off.
You know that you got a 3 kids or 2% of your population, maybe 160 kids you're teaching, right? 2% of the causing all the problem. Everybody else is not an issue, but these 2%. But you refuse to do something with these 2%. You refuse to. This same child, come late every day, cuss everybody out, carrying on, want to start every fight. All that. Why you can't deal with this? Why you can't help me with these two? These two right here.
Because there's a misconception, and I'm going to say this is completely April's thoughts and opinions.
Mm-hmm. Take off.
So if we were to do our research about what out-of-school suspension was designed to do, it's not doing what parents are assuming it's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Out-of-school suspension basically is removing a child from the learning environment because they've exhibited a behavior that is not appropriate for all students.
Right.
That's what it is. But they're not supposed to be, it's assumed that they're supposed to be uprooted, placed in another environment where there's a combination of multiple students like them, and they're going to be taught their traditional curriculum.
That's not going to happen.
That makes no sense at all.
But you know what it does do? Somebody somewhere was able to say, I can direct funds to a program. I ain't gonna get into nepotism, cronyism, but somebody may have developed that program, and there's millions of dollars that are sent aside, and you create either jobs or opportunities.
Where's our ISS held at? Where y'all do it at? Where y'all do that at? Where y'all do in-school suspension at?
So let's even talk about that.
Okay, good.
So ISS, in my opinion, should be a position that's directly aligned with that of the leadership team. Right. It's a non-negotiable position, meaning that if that position should be just as important as the principal or everybody else, because if you don't have that position, which is a part of your disciplinary matrix, it's really null and void anyway.
Correct.
No, he meant
I was asking where, like, location, where y'all
Oh,
have it.
it depends. Anywhere in the school. It can be anywhere.
Where y'all was
Anywhere.
at? We was in the weight room. Man, that's
Nah, we weren't in the weight room. We was in the classroom.
We was
Like
in the
you
weight
had
room.
to do.
Yeah.
with no heat.
No windows.
No
Yeah,
heat.
we was in the,
Yeah, it
we
wasn't
was-
no,
it was
no
cold.
windows.
It was
Like,
cold.
the door had the regular, like the little small window. But
Like
there
a
wasn't
prison
no,
slit. Get
And
you
you went to
ready.
lunch.
Yeah.
You went to
prison
lunch.
slit.
Don't get us
You went to
started
You
on
lunch.
didn't go to lunch.
No, but you went quick because you
No, you
brought the
didn't.
food
They
back.
brought
They brought
food.
you
They
back
brought.
your bag
They brought.
lunch.
We was in
You
school
bring it.
suspension.
Yeah.
We was in school suspension. They would bring you
Cause you
back
can't
to the
do
class.
it.
I've been
You
once,
were not in
and
general
I
pop.
apologize
That's
to
what it
you,
was.
Dr. Parrott, but I appreciate it. She, as a senior, I would just come to class and read the
at Pascal High,
newspaper.
the basketball coach was ISS
But I
teacher.
appreciate her.
Yeah, it was football coach. Fuck yeah, I was a vet. My junior year, I was there a couple different times.
No, once was enough.
Same
Once was
for-
enough.
But what
It
we
was
will
cold in
say
that
is
room.
this: if we really want to address the inappropriate behaviors or the students' inability to be able to regulate their emotions, that space where they remove them from the learning environment and put them in a separate space, an alternative environment, out of school suspension, that would be a great
Restorative.
time for restorative
Thank you.
practices.
It should be
And teach the kids
restorative.
about how to regulate your emotions.
Man, that ain't
And so on and so
happening.
forth. But
Hold
wait,
on.
But you
hold on,
said there was
hold on.
money being funneled into that.
Because April and I have actually gone to entire classes. We got paid to go to these classes. Taught us all
But
about this
you
restorative
and
practice.
April
and they
wanted
don't
to learn
apply it.
something.
No. But here's the thing. We thought in the process of taking these courses, right, that it would actually be implemented in
That's
the
key.
school. So, because say a child is fighting, right? You got two kids that fight, you suspend them for 5 days. You bring them back to school. You want to just throw them back in the class? No,
what
they should have a process where they're slowly integrated in. Even if you took away one of their elective
You
classes,
almost
they
saw
should be
like a
sitting-
re-entry program from prison.
But
I get
wait
that.
a minute,
really what-
that's really what it is.
That's like-
Why
Yeah, when you
gonna
break
let
it down
me
like that,
in
yeah.
on
But
this
honestly,
fighting?
what
I
they
don't come back
funnel
to class
into
with them like
anyway.
that.
But a prison.
We need
you're
some
right.
kind of
But
mediation or
yeah,
something.
the mediation needs to be don't have children that you aren't you're not thinking about raising. Of course, that's kind of hard to say now, but the reality
Yeah,
is
that's not
it's
realistic, bro. You tripping.
no, it's not tripping when you're not doing what you're unleashing a plague on society. Is what is happening.
But the thing is, the plague is already infected in them because
exactly.
it's a
So
part
now
of
you need really
their life. So it's
tough
not.
disciplinary measures.
But you
What
can't
do
tell them
what
not
do
to
you-
have
what is the
kids
measure?
because.
Yeah.
Well, you want me to say this on camera?
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
You brought it up.
because you keep in mind, you gotta keep it realistic.
Well, okay, whether you punish, whether you make it.
So we should sterilize
financially
all the stupid
or-
people?
No. Well, that you said that. I wasn't even thinking that.
That was a question. That wasn't a
no,
statement.
that's called eugenics. But no,
I
would
know
have said
what it's called. I know what it is, but
I
I'm
would
asking how you feel
I
about
just
it.
would have said, no, you hold parents accountable, whether it's economically.
See, that's what I'm gonna stop
that's
you
a
at.
problem, yeah.
A lot of these kids do not have the parent to hold accountable. It's like you all are speaking to a phantom. It doesn't exist.
When you saying you mean there's no physical adult? You mean the parent is incapable of being?
Both.
Let's
Well, then,
let's take
then
COVID for example.
you measure it. You measure it the same way they do with any other crime or any other consequence. This is what it's going to be if this doesn't happen. All we're asking you to do is come into a structured environment for a limited amount of time, and if nothing else, don't interrupt anybody. Because you all have them for at maximum 1/3 of the day is for you. 2/3 goes home and everything else they got going on. Because y'all might have them 8 hours a day.
8 hours or so.
Right.
To their point, though, there have already been studies where you take the problem kids and you put them in like a yoga program, where again they're learning to regulate their emotions, they're getting some physical energy out. That's the other problem, that the kids aren't getting any physical
Well,
activity.
that was gonna be one of my
and that
corrective
pent-up
measures.
energy results into
Well, yeah,
behavior
run them, make them push-ups, jump up, dead cockroaches sitting on
Even
chairs.
like
yeah,
like
that sounds
the-
good in theory, but a lot of our kids are out of shape because they've been sitting there with
They're
the
sitting
game.
with a video game.
But I would say is more like the Montessori school. They don't even have desk at the school. So kids that have energy, they get up, they move around, they get relocate to do their stuff. They have their little
I
mat.
challenge all of those with these grand
Great
ideas. You say you've already worked in when the last time you've been in a school setting?
In the 90s.
90s.
Right.
No,
so that's what I'm
there's
saying.
no
Wait.
comparison.
There's
Hold
no
on. When you
comparison
say
now.
you mean as a
Educator.
As a-
no, 90s.
Or all you need
90s
to
was
walk
great
through.
for me.
Yeah,
I
me too,
love teaching
you
then.
need to walk through because I mean again it's so different. And then remember too. Okay, you
My
have,
kids are grown.
Yeah,
And
but
also-
no, just
But
come
you
visit
still have to go-
that.
you
You gotta
still have to
visit.
go
You
in
gotta
and
visit.
volunteer.
Don't hear
We
excuses,
just
dog.
have to
Don't
go
hear
back and
excuses.
look.
I want
But
results,
okay,
bro.
then you have to look at you have to look at this
I don't
too.
want to do
No, but listen, this is what you have to look at
That's
too.
what-
And that's what we're
that's
trying
what-
to say.
that's what we're
what
talking
trying to
about
say.
right
now.
Now you don't
The
want-
community
yeah,
part. We wanna
community.
talk community,
Right.
but we wanna
will
invest
act
a lot of
as
time in the
community.
trenches with community.
Now,
Just wanna talk.
now you got
Yeah.
now you got. Here's our middle
My church is
schoolers.
wrong. We moved out there in Riverview. Ruston, you know, all that good stuff there.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We don't live around here. Okay, we East Tampa. That's East Tampa problem. You know, we out here. We're making money.
gonna look
But
at
anyway,
That sounds just like dog.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
That sounds just like dog.
here's the issue. Here's the issue.
No, I
right?
was at Oak Park.
Wait a minute. Here's the issue.
No.
Here's the issue.
Man, let her go,
you
bro.
got middle schoolers. Then you got is it the millennials who are now the teachers?
Millennials.
Okay,
God.
and then you got us who are
Be
the
less than on
vets
them
getting ready to
people
come up
shit.
out of there, right? The problem is not only do the children not listen, but the millennial teachers ain't listening to
My
us. So
God.
what I'm trying to tell you, when I'm sitting there telling you, don't go back and forth with these child. You need to lay your
You're
rules
old
down.
school.
You need to act like you got some sense. I
That's
say
too much
you
like
got
right.
Yeah,
That's
right.
too much
So
like right.
now
That's how I was when I
they
was
go,
in the
and
school
so now the
system.
kids are like,
I was
they
rigid.
go from the structure of my classroom and pop in 2-3 doors down, and now we could cuss and carry on over here. We could tap box in here. We could do all that. But when they walk
Mr.
around, like you ain't
Dawson
doing
go
none
for
of
that.
that in this
Right.
room.
Mr.
So
Dawson
here's
go
the
for that.
issue. Here's the issue. It's like okay, but now you're dealing with also the parent too, who can't understand why he don't have no problem in his class,
That
but
be
he
the
always got a problem
craziest
with
statement
you.
all the time. It's always you.
But because I got rules over here, I got
Right.
expectations over here. I have structure
You know, one
over
thing that
here.
happened, I did say
Why
this in
don't
front of you.
you pull up at Jenna's one day,
You
man?
need to pull up and come
Welcome.
see.
Yeah,
You
pull-
come
you're
on
welcome.
through.
Just let me know. But my point
Oh, we
was-
ain't letting you know. We're telling you
No,
now.
we tell you come
No,
through.
Whatever.
you know what, I don't care about. I'm not afraid of none of that. Listen,
No, we're
Nobody
not
saying
crazy.
you're
not saying
my
you're
thing is
afraid,
this.
bro.
We're talking about the fact that we.
You want me to
They
come
holding
in-
your feet to the fire,
No,
dog.
it's no feet to the fire. My kids are. My point is this. I remember saying
kids
one
is
time that
grown.
one of the biggest problems I noticed in education. I even told that you go look it up. Torres years ago. I told them, and they came out, and this was when Valdez and I were hanging out. I said you have too much estrogen in the system, and I don't care what it takes. Even if you had to give black men a $20,000 incentive to come back into education, you need discipline, and it rubbed people the wrong way. And
We're gonna talk about that
Yes.
era because there was money and free degrees offered to them black
Right,
men. But you know what, black men, sometimes
They
they get,
didn't wanna
they
come-
get
they-
tired
yes.
quickly
Yes, they do.
when
Yes.
when it comes
'Cause
to
they
dealing
can't
with
put
the
their
black
hands on
child.
the
there you
But
go,
they
Waldo.
give- not
And
just
now,
that.
when you ask me why did I leave? Because of the discipline.
No, not just that.
That's why I
This is
left.
this is
And the
structurally
money.
designed. Hold on, it's structurally designed to
through.
where men are not in leadership position.
Exactly.
I would love to have an
Exactly.
all male principal,
Exactly.
AP of curriculum,
See?
AP of discipline,
And what
AP.
principles do we
But
have,
guess
Daryl?
what? You're gonna always have. Watch
What?
this now. Watch this. You're
And
gonna
we're putting
always
in the
have
work, though.
female
But they gotta put
leadership.
in the work.
I get into that point.
I know, okay.
You always have female leadership with your male APs behind. That's how it's
Exactly.
always
That
going to be.
started when I was
and,
at
and
Moore.
this why the
at-
children
at-
can't
at
respect
Moore.
nobody anyway
At-
either.
At Bond in Tallahassee
And
was
this
the
why the
first time I
church,
saw it.
but this why the children
Blew my
can't
damn
respect
mind.
nobody anyway either because the children are literally sitting
And we're
there.
talking
Well,
about
here's a
90 what,
female on the
3?
head. Which is
Oh.
not naturally and spiritually how it's supposed to be. You got a female
Come
at the
on.
head, okay? And now you got 2 males under her, or a male under her, another female, or a white male
And
and a
not
Hispanic
being
woman.
appointed to these
correct.
positions.
But here's the other thing
So they
too.
have to be appointed,
Okay, so
Daryl.
I'm gonna talk about one side. I'm gonna come back to the other side. Here's the other thing to look at. Our male teachers, they don't stay in the classroom for a long time. We've been in the classroom. We see some of them that stay in the classroom for a minute, but their only ambition is to get out. They want to be the APs. They want to be the principals. They want to be. So wait a minute. What
Hold on,
example
hold
are you
on.
showing the
But
kids?
let me. Well, a lot of times there are
I know a couple
extended
APs.
opportunities to get
True.
outside of the classroom.
True.
Because in most cases they are sought out on all campuses. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
They are
Say
sought
it.
out on campuses being the disciplinary for everything.
Yes.
Most of the time you got the PE coach handling all the discipline on
Yes,
the campus
yeah.
when it comes to the black boy. Why?
Why?
What? What?
Yeah.
What are you doing all day?
Well,
Yeah.
it was called. I don't know if it's called exceptional student education. 'Cause that's where I
ESE.
walked into ESE when I
You
walked
got
in.
one of them degrees that.
You do.
Listen.
Wait.
So anyway,
you colored something.
No,
One
I'm
of
talking
the-
about, did you get one of those degrees that
Oh,
they
no,
was talking
no,
about that
no,
was free
no,
at
no.
USF? I'm serious.
No,
I'm asking
but
that
I
question.
told you about it.
Okay.
But
That was a real
here's
thing.
the problem. I'm not going to go get it. No one's going to get an advanced degree to sit here and be in a subordinate position. That kind of defeats the
Oh,
point.
why do you think that's a wait? You said my what?
No. A man is not going to go try to get an advanced degree to go sit in a subordinate position. Typically, he's getting the advanced degree to accelerate. But when you're here, and I'll say candidly, you're in one of the most racist counties in America, they're not going to continue to promote black men to certain positions because of what it would inspire.
Well, let's talk about it, because a lot of times, when we get in position and we get delusional about where we came from, and we don't want to have those conversations
just say
on
that
how
part.
can I
But
pull
who
you up
appoints-
out of the
Yes,
crab barrel.
exactly.
No, we don't want to do that. We just want to say, I'm gonna stomp you, I'm gonna keep you down there where you belong, where you at, because you know what, it's just the mentality.
One
so
of the worst.
racism been a thing.
Yes.
Let's not talk about it as if it's a new topic. The problem is we forget who we are.
are. One of the worst women to work for. I must say it
They're
straight
women.
of that. The best way is when sometimes
women.
a black
I agree.
principal,
I said
a black. But I'm saying
But we can only reference
because
what we see.
we see what we
They
know.
going to their
You
experiences.
see, yeah, exactly. I have my experience is my reality. Okay,
Right.
Is a lot of times you come across black female principals and they will stomp you into the ground like a
Absolutely.
dog
Y'all- but
because they
y'all are more
remember.
competitive.
Yes,
Y'all are
because
more
I
competitive.
finally made it. I finally made it, and everybody else is. Yeah. So that word. So I'm just saying, you have to say to yourself,
Boy, I don't think
and
I've
they
ever
will
seen
stomp
a
down the
male
men
principal.
and the women.
When
They
I
will
was in
stomp down
education,
I never had
everybody.
one.
So
when I
again,
worked in education, I never
you
had
got to
one. Now
sit
I
to
thought about
yourself.
it.
No, but you got to sit to yourself.
27 years.
It's rare when you come across a principal who's like, and I'm only finding in
No, I said
the
when I
young
worked
ones
there.
now,
That's
because
when
they're
I
a
was
little bit
in
more
school.
free thinking, right?
Right.
It's rare when you find those principals who are willing to be open, talk to you, willing to accept your ideas,
you
willing
need
to,
help with something,
yeah,
how
what you
can I
need
help?
help
What-
with.
yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's a lot of times you'll come across it and they just like, well, I'm the
It's a
principal.
power
Yeah,
control.
it's a power thing, and I think it's because they power has been
We
withheld
have the
from them
wrong
for so
combination
long.
in society today because parents are not as involved in this. A parent's supposed
A
to
parent
see
is
you
operating
a
in some-
pre-disciplined child should come to your
A
class.
lot of,
Oh, I
but
agree
wait
with
a minute.
that.
When those parents are operating from a place of pure survival, that parent ain't thinking about nothing else.
Yeah, we
My
had some
daughter's-
hard times back in the day.
My daughter's mother,
Not me, of
is
course, but yeah.
Puerto Rican Cuban. Was teaching at a high school here in Hillsborough County. They had an administration change. They brought in a Puerto Rican woman to be the principal of that school. She got excited because she thinks, oh, here's my peer.
No.
Here's my counterpart, somebody that I have something in common with. It was her worst nightmare.
Of course.
That principal ended up being removed because she was super corrupt. It's out there in the time.
Yeah, you gotta watch those.
come
You gotta
on.
I know
watch those.
exactly
You gotta
who
watch
that
those
is.
Puerto Ricans.
But it goes
Should've
back
called-
to that power
should've called
struggle.
ice on 'em.
But and again, if we're educated,
What are you talking about?
if we're educators, it always should be at the forefront of our
Lord
minds. It's
mercy.
about the kids.
Hey, DJ.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Should always be about the kids.
Shout out Bad Bunny.
Okay, shout out Bad Bunny. Okay.
Anyway, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Cannot with you.
Continue.
It takes definitely a community effort, and I guess I should have caveated by saying I was blessed that in my life, I can say I'm substantially at least formally educated because I have a brother's a doctor, and my parents have advanced degrees, and actually I have a daughter who's a doctor now, and a son who's on his way. But the one thing that discipline is not an option though, Waldo, and even like in Montessori. Discipline is not an option.
Because they'll kick your butt out of there.
Right.
Come-
Exactly.
Take your tuition
And
and
shout out-
Yes,
shout
take
out
your
to
money.
My daughter
Academy
was on the
Prep.
verge when she first got there. She was on the verge.
But
Take
shout out
tuition.
to Academy Prep. Shout out to Jesuit in Berkeley for what they afforded my children an opportunity of education.
Such an opportunity, gotcha.
And but to the mothers,
looking at
even
him.
to in Sumner. But I
You
have to
got,
say,
you got kids. Let me just address this. When you're in the inner city,
she got out early.
urban areas,
Come on.
we gonna have that. Now, see,
We got beat up in urban areas.
let me finish. You don't have these problems in Tampa Palms. Okay? Don't have any problems in Wellswood. Don't have them in West Chase. It's the community. And it's for us. Really and our children. Hold the children accountable.
And your
Connect with
peers.
the administration, connect with the teachers at school to see what part can I play.
And your peers then.
In your peer, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like when we have this dialogue, it's always this.
It's a blame game. It goes to this and this. And
Right,
this.
but instead of
There's
just
no
addressing,
collaborative thought.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
right.
out there in West Chase, you still do have those kind of issues. It's
okay,
just more-
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
but it's more
I
magnified.
don't want you to just say they.
Okay, but let me
Yeah.
scale back. No,
Dangerous.
they're not perfect. But let me scale back.
Because you won't be elected, and we'll file a lawsuit on
It's
you,
more
buddy.
it's more magnified in urban areas. Like you said, when you speak about critical thinking,
You won't be reelected.
our children, and that's what I'm
That's what we
for.
heard
I'm
in
for
that
our
hearing,
people
in that meeting.
because others
Where the
have
money
been
go? Where did the decision
provided
go?
Right.
opportunities that we don't get. So it's either like Biggie say, you got a crooked jump shot, or
Slanging crack
Slanging
rock.
crack-
Or you
crack
got a
rock.
wicked jump
and
shot.
that's the thing. So why not? Let's focus more into education.
Let me give
Well,
y'all an example.
participation would help
That's
too.
the key. Let me give you an
Right,
example.
right.
And
So-
that's what Waldo and I saw is we saw everybody who had, and even when I go to city council meetings, when we were in there, Waldo, what did I say? Look at all of these people here for this reason, but nobody other than the woman who stood up and said, you can make $96,000 coming out of Jefferson.
Okay, but how? And let's do this. How old was the man that lived in Plant and say his kids, when his grandkids? How
No,
old was he?
there's a
he
whole
was in his
bunch of
80s, but he was in his 80s, though, right?
Oh, the one that said, talked about the legacy?
Right.
Talking about him?
So you talking about somebody
But
that
we
been in
also
South
had a
Tampa for
6-year-old
60
speak,
years.
Waldo.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 6 or 8 year old saying, I don't want to go there because she spent $2 million on the property. And he's like, I'm not going over there.
An 8-year-old, they ain't even in middle
Yeah.
school yet.
But those kids are coached and they're in the spaces where they can learn that information.
There you go.
And that
Exactly.
goes back to what we're trying to instill into these
Right.
people that look like us.
Right.
If we don't create those opportunities for our children, like we do for our summers,
Exactly.
you know, the summer camp that we
Summer
offer
camp.
for free for children
East
in the
Tampa
inner
Bay
city.
I wanna
Brain Booster
come.
Camp.
And you know, and we provide, you know, we take them to the Hillsborough County
to-
Clerk of
they
the
go to
Circuit
courthouse.
the tax
How do
collector.
y'all how do y'all
The
how do y'all raise
aquarium.
money for that?
I can't
So
go in
grant
there.
opportunities
Grants.
when they're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big
Sponsors. We have sponsors.
Okay.
big cut in our
Our
grant
budget
opportunity this year. Yes.
Right.
So we went from, let's say, at 50K to 15K.
15.
Wow.
So we need a lot of help.
But the camp is going to go on regardless
Yes.
because why? We're going to make it happen.
for the children.
And that's, you know, we talked just last, we had shout out to Henry Washington here last week. And I was saying that's something that kids don't have now is exposure.
We try to say it all the
I'm gonna give you a
time.
perfect
Yeah.
example. I went
The
to
right kind of
a
exposure.
FAMU homecoming. I've been to the Bayou Classic, so I've seen there are some kids that live in the city that don't go nowhere.
No.
To USF.
Oh, yeah,
We've
exactly.
taken them. To HCC. We've taken them.
We've taken our
A great
kids to the
institution
aquarium.
like
We've
USF.
taken them to ride the trolley in Ybor City.
Right.
We've taken them to Channel Side because they're like, you mean I live right here,
Right.
but I've never been right
Right.
there. So it's important to expose them to those things.
Right.
Because it's like, at one point in time earlier on, I used to say, how? Now I realize, you know what? I can't. I gotta stop saying how have you not been here? You just gotta take it upon yourself to say,
Right.
let's
Be
take
proactive
them.
in that.
Let's
You're right.
just take them, and
You're right.
so
We're
they
very
can,
intentional about what we
so they
take
can,
them.
so they can see. And we've had the fire department come down and we talked to them about the safety and everything. Again, you need to be able to have, for them to feel like one with their community, to understand what's
Right.
around them and see how the world works around them too.
Right.
But that's the thing too. I mean, you have to. We feel like you have to present these opportunities because there a lot of parents, like again, are operating in survival mode. If you're in
Right.
survival mode, you're not worried about okay, maybe they need to go on a field trip here or a field trip here. All you caring about is what we gonna eat today. Okay,
Right.
is
And
the
is
lights
the-
gonna
is the
stay
bill
on?
paid?
Right,
Yeah.
the bill gonna pay. So we have to sit there and try and say, let's fill in these little gaps for them,
Right.
so that when they go back to school, they have actual real world experiences they can share and,
And
can
it
share
gives
with
them
other
hope,
people.
because I feel that
Right, hope is the key right there too.
middle school children are cruel.
Oh, they horrible.
So I mean, like, and then the thing to me is like, if your
God.
outfit ain't together,
Listen,
your
Yes,
hair
sir.
your hair ain't together.
Waldo's cruel.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it makes you.
They will
and to
drag
me,
you. They'll drag
and
you.
it puts
I was about to
it
say,
can
life is
really
cruel.
it can
Yes,
be
it
frustrating
is. My
to a
point.
kid because I don't have the resources where I can go get me some new shoes or get me a new outfit or just anything. But that's what the kids. And you got kids. That's all they do on a day of that, you see better walking down the hall, man, look what he got on.
Right. They'll drag each other every day.
And you're going to be the butt of jokes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's definitely tough.
But you know, we had to help instill a sense of toughness in our children because life is so unforgiving, and it's unfortunate. But part of the reality is, if we don't reel in what's going on, our children will live as our grandparents lived, because we're not paying attention politically. You know, we may not get slavery, but they can always rewrite Jim Crow.
Of course.
They do.
They're doing it right now.
No, that's my point, because Jim Crow is just the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also with that is that.
But that goes back to the critical thinking.
Correct.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Go back to
And
that.
a lot of people
Focus on
feel like
things
if
that
it
are more
don't.
important than things that
Right,
are
that's
not.
what I'm saying. So if
Yeah.
it don't impact me, and then here we go again, social media.
Yep.
A lot of children now are caught up into TikToking,
Of course.
content creating.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
No, not saying ain't nothing wrong with it, but
Oh
at
my
least
God.
have the education
Yes.
Yeah, I guess
to
I
where
shouldn't
you
say
have
that.
other skills
Right.
that you
They
can
don't.
do
They don't.
certain
Well, a lot of
things.
them are not. When I tell you, like years ago, I used to ask kids, "What do you want to do?" And I would typically get everything from it would be football player,
NFL.
basketball player, NFL player. They want to be nurses. Some of them want to be whatever. Now everyone wants to be a YouTube star, Instagram star. They want to be
Hey.
everybody. But the thing about it is, I will actually, and what I would do is two things I would do for them, especially when they play football. I'd break out an actual football contract.
Contract, yep.
I said, "This is 28 pages. This is like an amended version." I
Right.
said, "This is 28 pages, and I want you to go through here and figure out how much the agent getting. I'm the agent. I pay myself 35% of your money. Okay?
No.
So,
But we want the kids to
we
figure
want
that out.
the kid to figure that out, right? And they were going through like after page 2, they stopped. I said, "Well, guess what?
I'll bring
I'm rich.
the NFLPA.
Well, hold on, hold on. I
collective
said,
bargaining agreement
I'm
for you
rich
all.
right now. I said, because where my contract is, where my portion is on page 28. And by the time you get to page 28, after you sign all the way through, you don't give me 35% of your money. I said, so that's first and foremost. Like no critical thinking skills. The other thing is just having them. I said, well, I need you to understand something. You know how many likes you have to have? You know how much hundreds of thousands of views you got to get just to get YouTube to even notice you. I said, this is not something that happens overnight. I said, you're doing something just like the kids who want to play football. I said, you're looking at these dreams.
Probability.
They don't
That's
understand the
right.
probability. So it's like I'm trying to tell them, I said, you need to have a backup to an actual backup
Right.
plan, because
And
they
dancing
know
and
where in the
twerking only
world.
gonna take you so
Hey,
far.
oh my
Well,
God!
unfortunately,
It
it
will
gets you
get to
very far.
OnlyFans.
I think
Dancing and
so
twerking will
far.
get you a lot.
But it's
A lot further than
Yes.
NFL.
Yes, it will.
That's
will.
like a,
It's
it's
faster.
still,
And
but it's still
faster.
a bubble. It's still a bubble
It's
kind
true,
of
yeah.
like
How much
I
do
mean,
you
there's a bubble. You have to have what it takes.
How much do you have to degrade yourself
What it takes.
it's
morally
like a
and
bubble
spiritually
still-
for that. Yeah.
to say that you're gonna make that kind
But
of money?
there's still that window that is available.
But I think a lot of times.
Bianca Goolsby says, "What's going on to y'all's favorite teacher?"
Oh,
But I think a lot of times is that
Thank you all for joining in on
Thank
you have a lot of
my show
people
is.
in society that
I
just
forgot.
want the fame and fortune, but instead of putting in the work to get it. So content creator, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do, but
You can't. We're content creators.
okay, no, we are, but this is what I'm saying. But also we have some form. But I'm saying, but let me tell you, we have some form of education. You can read. You can read.
A little bit, yeah.
We all can communicate. So that's what I'm saying. So if you just, some people can't even sign a check. Don't even know how to, even do a check.
write a letter.
A check is irrelevant today, though.
Yeah, but still, write a letter. We just talked about that just the other day. How many of you have received a letter or written a letter? And the kids are like, huh? What are you talking about? So basic skills.
Muckmuck in prison need you to write. Well, they can actually email there too. I forgot.
Right, you can email too.
I
So
can't
yeah.
forget what I was about to say.
And I think not the physical letter, them being able to even formulate the letters together, to be able to put together the sentences,
cohesive
to create.
thoughts.
Yes, like
To
that's
even be able to
what's
write an
in it.
email.
It creates not just a
To even be able just to write an email.
That's the point
Just
we're making.
being
That they don't
Book
understand how to do it.
which is what I've noticed we lack
Yes.
as with older individuals, that ability to expand
Right.
your
And I think for the
attention's
older
horizon.
people, that's because
No, we went to
we
church
like
and
the
had to sit there for
patience
3
to
hours.
teach them.
No,
a
we
lot
had
of
to
them
sit
may
in
want
church
to
for
learn.
3 hours, and if your head went down, you got pinched and slapped upside the
talking
head.
about
Hey,
something
listen,
totally
church.
different than
Hey,
what I'm
hey,
talking
now
about.
tell me, could you go to sleep in
You be
church?
going off the wall.
Yeah.
don't you?
Yes.
You be
No,
all
we went
way
to church
out
for
of left
hours,
field.
I
and
was
it
talking
helped
about
us.
something
It helped.
She wasn't talking about going to church vows. Go ahead.
No,
Continue.
I'm talking about how we could pay attention for a longer period of time. Listen,
Well, okay. Going back to the critical thing. Okay, for example,
Damn sure ain't got that no
I
more.
would ask the kids. I say, well, let's be real. I say,
Damn
how
sure
many
can't do that.
books are in your home? Because see, a sign of it is like I say, and I tell parents, especially when like going back to those conversations when I have with the parents and hitting them with the data and hitting them with the facts and hitting them with you getting mad at me, but your child clearly can't read. Where's the books? Where's the magazines? Where's the tangible things that you need to help advance your child? Because your child can't be 14
And
in the third
what
grade level.
demand
But
do you put on them
your
to
child
read?
to read?
But,
Exactly.
And I remind this one here though, there's limit to those demands when the parents.
I get that. However,
the parents, no, I don't get nothing.
No,
the parents
I-
what?
They can't read.
they can't. Okay,
Okay,
exactly.
say that.
Okay. The parents
dummies, dummies.
the parents also are operating in a deficit. Let's be real. When George Bush said, what year
No
was it?
child left
2000.
behind.
No child. He
They
left
left
a lot
behind.
of
He
them
left
behind.
behind.
Okay, he left
A
a lot of them
lot of
behind. And the parents are
And we're
like
still
literally
trying to
and they
catch
up.
struggling.
That's
Yeah, listen, it was
George.
no, it was George. It was
George made it, but Jeb's the one who implemented.
No, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
The
okay?
lower standard. George
No.
said it, but that standard was set in Florida.
No, it was.
I mean, they were one and the same.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, no. But it
They
was.
was
I think it was
brothers.
2000.
Like-
Yeah, No Child Left Behind Act was in 2001, and it was who brought it forward. Hold on,
George
a
would have been just
highly
elect-
qualified
he
teacher.
would've- He would have just stepped in.
Right.
The Bush record. Okay, it was. Hold on, which Bush was it? Hold on,
It was
one
Bush.
second. It was a Bush. Let's just say.
Let's
Well, 2001 was George coming in because he would have been.
Keep
that
on
was his
saying
first term.
President Bush.
Yeah,
Which
2000.
president?
It's
Which
the
President
Bushes.
Bush? It's
Let's
one of
talk
No,
them.
it
about
wouldn't
this.
have been.
Let's
It wouldn't
talk
have been
about
Herbert
this.
Walker. It wasn't Herbert
Hope
Walker because
School.
Clinton was in.
Yeah, let's talk about
What do y'all
School
know
of
about
Hope.
Hope Schools?
Schools of Hope.
Schools of Hope.
Homeschool?
Schools of
Schools of Hope.
Hope.
I didn't put my
What do y'all
glasses.
know about that?
I don't know
Nothing
what that
at
is.
all.
Ain't nothing on
So, legislation was passed very hurriedly
George Bush.
at the end of the last session. And basically, what happens is any school that has been identified by the state as being low performing, underserved, so on and so forth, and other indicators, they're going to allow a charter school to come into that school
Oh, yeah.
and co-locate. Now, the misconception
Using taxpayers'
is
dollars.
exactly
Correct, correct.
that it's a separate school. No,
Nah.
that means that they're coming into the same school, and they're going to have separate administration, separate rules, everything is separate,
but
it's
within
for
our
the free.
facility.
But it's for the free. Everything
Right.
is free. Transportation, facility, lunch program, custodial staff, everything for them is being for free. And for some reason, I don't know why
such thing
we're
as
not
free.
ringing the alarm so loud, because the majority of the schools are in District 5.
Five.
Correct.
So
What's
I'm-
District 5?
Here, East Tampa.
East Tampa.
East Tampa.
Exactly.
Shake,
And
here in Shake Washington.
I'm pretty sure
So-
Mrs.
I'm-
Young's not gonna. Mrs. Young gonna say something about it, but also it's the school district, which is much more important.
Yes.
Which is Shake. Yeah.
So I'll have a.
But remember, the school board members are limited on what they can say when it's legislation.
Yes.
Right.
That's
yes.
why we need our board members, not just Mr. Washington, but those
Members.
that are at large, all of them, to speak to this
But when
issue.
it comes, here's the issue. Let me say this. One of the reasons that the dynamic or the composition of the boards, when it comes to that large positions, is because they don't get out and recruit young people to help change the composition. We don't have young,
vote properly.
Right.
no, that's
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
recruit them. Every year you have X number of 18-year-olds coming out. And they're not being recruited. I even told, and I'll say his name, I told Thomas Scott this years ago when he ran for mayor, you only need about 40,000 votes to become mayor. The fact that Tampa's never had an African-American mayor is bonkers to me. Because it doesn't take that many to get these positions done. And we
Okay,
also have
but you
people out
say
here
that-
who are not
I want
motivated
to before we go all left on. Let's get back into this program. So as far as the program goes, the charter school coming into the public school, how does that benefit
It
the
doesn't.
everyday parent or
So I'll put myself in a position to say that as a relative caregiver for my grandson. what could that program benefit for him at his current school? Because let's just say his school is one of those school sites. Traditionally, they're offering all the additional services required by law for him, all his ESC services, all his allowance for ABA therapists to come in because he has ADHD. So he needs a whole bunch of supports to be able to function in the school setting without raising so much hell to where nobody can learn. That's the reality.
Okay.
Now, if I move over to that charter school, they ain't got to deal with none of that.
They're gonna take
They're going to take the money
and keep it
from the
moving.
beginning, and then when they say, okay, we're done, go back. The money don't go
The money
with
don't
it.
follow
Not
him.
at all.
No.
They get
That's
to
why I
keep
said
the
it
pot of
won't,
money.
Waldo.
Now, I understand every parent has a right to do what's best for their children. Yes. But should it create such a deficit in the public education? Look at New Orleans. That's all we got to do.
Yep.
Look at New Orleans, where the entire state, the entire Louisiana, the entire state, everything was charter. Them people walked away as millionaires.
Oh, yep.
Some of these same agencies that's part of Hope School.
When we talked about earlier, I said somebody's going to create something so that somebody's friend can become rich. Off of it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
That's what it
And
is.
is
And it's
it
been-
Waldo 1/3 looking like us?
And it's been said all the time, even by
One
legislators, we just need to
congressional
start our own schools. I get that. But why should we have to do that? Because, again, we're still going to leave behind so many children in a deficit.
And then where you going to get the money?
The resource,
Oh, wait,
exactly.
hold on. We
And
don't
the
need-
money-
wait.
the money is there.
All
Like,
we need
the
is
same-
curriculum.
yeah, the
we can
same-
do that in the go wake up in the morning no time.
make something.
If we're going to get that free building and the free
No,
transportation.
I'm talking about us.
That's what she just
That's what
saying.
you
Who
talking about.
she
You
is
said
us.
So you think that
It ain't no
Could
think.
we do it? Yes.
We could definitely do
We
it.
could
be
do
done.
it. With sleepingly do it.
With the resources,
Would we
yeah, that's
want
the
to
key.
do that
with the
too?
resources, because the resources
But
have
it
to
can
be
be done.
The
allocated.
resources coming from the state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but the state would have to allocate the funds down that way, and I just
They've already
No, they
did it.
already allocate them.
They already did that.
That's what they're saying. What the Hope School is
Catch
doing.
up, bro.
Yes.
You
No,
They
no,
not gonna
I'm
be the only
following
one.
this. I'm looking at the long term as to when it comes to us.
Oh, we understand that. Long term, look at the $200-something million that's unaccounted for right now with the
Right.
charter
They
schools.
match-
We
yeah.
don't know how much was
And
spent,
or the $10
and
million
don't nobody know what happened
or
to
just
it.
somebody's $10
Yeah.
million went somewhere
Yeah.
else too, right?
Yeah.
But the money is there.
But the
No.
It's gonna come
I'm
down.
not going to say the money ain't there. I'm saying what's going to happen when the money has to get.
allocated.
So for a point of clarity, because it seems as though there was other educators and people
Yeah.
that did not
That didn't
believe
believe
what we
us.
were
Even
saying,
though it was
like
on the
we were
news.
making up. It was on the news,
Yes.
and we try to keep up with a little bit of legislation that
Right.
impact
Right.
the children that need us to be
And
aware
we
of what's going on.
We always
kids,
want to bring facts.
which all of them are,
And this is
yeah.
not speculation. This is
Empirical data to
facts.
support whatever position you
Yes.
take.
Correct.
absolutely.
And we understand that some schools are already closed. We didn't give the list. We didn't create the list. We are literally telling you what the list
And you
is.
didn't create the problem.
And
Right.
no. So here are the schools. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and read those
All right,
off.
let me just run off.
So they're
these.
clear.
They're very clear, and we're going to repost them again as well, okay? But here's the schools. You have Adams Middle School, Broward Elementary, Burnett Middle School, Chamberlain Senior High, Cleveland Elementary, Dowdell Middle School, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, was
That's
it
the old
K-8?
Van Buren.
Yes,
Old Van Buren, right?
Yes,
Edison
yes.
Elementary, Farrell, Franklin, Graham Elementary, James Elementary, Just. What's this one right here? Adam, Kenneth E. Adam, K-8 Magnet, King Senior High School, Lomax Elementary, Monroe Middle, Oak Park Elementary, Sefner Elementary, Smith Middle, Town and Country Elementary, Washington Elementary School, and the school I just came from, Young Middle Magnet.
Can you take a
Send
picture of
that
that?
list.
She got a
Wait,
picture.
wait, wait,
We
wait,
can
wait.
send it to you. We
The
can send
key
it to you.
thing with all of this
Send
is
it to me.
Oh, yeah. We got
the key thing with all of this is at each one of these sites, it appears that leadership did not inform
Their staff. Exactly. They
This
think we
is
lying.
here. And the key thing with that is they may very well not know because it's a lot going
Yeah,
on.
that's true.
But the
So
families
what didn't they
need
inform
to
the
know
staff of?
Absolutely.
of this that they're on the list.
They're on the list for the push
for
into
the
the
push.
school, for the charters
Okay.
to push into the school, their
So
school.
they're going to push some people in and some folks
So
got to out.
so for example, at my former school, Young, we had an entire building that was empty. The building literally all it had was desktops, and they only used that building for testing. So that was it. They only used it 3-4 times a year. You may have done your PM testing. You may have done ESOL testing or ESSA testing, whatever it is, and that's it. The building was completely empty. Electricity running through it, AC being used, everything, but
they bust-
nothing
they bust
happened.
these students
So
into testing?
yeah,
Well, hold on.
no.
We'll be
The kids-
Just
we'll
from the
be
school.
all night. I ain't
Right,
gonna,
exactly,
I ain't gonna,
yeah,
I ain't
from
gonna
the
keep
school.
y'all in here like this.
Okay.
I want to thank
All
y'all
right. No. Oh, what
Coming on
time
here
is it?
kicking it
Wow.
with
Oh, time
8:15.
flew from us.
Yes.
So yeah, y'all getting a good rhythm. Y'all keep it going.
Thank
So
you.
any shout outs y'all want to give for we gonna do rapid fire with y'all and then we'll do our little, we gotta do better.
We would definitely love for you all to check out our page. We have diversity and equity in education. We also have the Sunshine Education Coalition.org, and also just personal plug. We also have the Beauty Blueprint Foundation, who basically make sure that's April and myself, and we are always pushing to have the kids. We need additional support for the East Tampa Brain Booster Camp that's coming up this summer. Please
What's
go
the
ahead.
ages?
Say again.
Ages?
7 to 14.
7 to 14.
Okay.
And we also have, oh my gosh, so much stuff. Oh, Carved Out Divas is my a mentorship program, as well as Miss D Reads, is I'm plugging in education and reading all the time.
Everything
and everything dealing with literacy and all of that is on Facebook.
Do they still got quiz bowl in middle school?
They just
got
had the
Brain Bowl.
Brain Bowl and
Brain
that
Bowl, okay.
Black History Month and things.
Okay.
But all these things are on Facebook. We just want people to go ahead and go on there and just. I always feature a lot of books.
How do we
Black
find you
books.
on Facebook specifically?
Miss
for those?
D Reads, and then Carved Out Divas is also the other
We'll
one
get
on
that
there.
information.
But don't worry,
We'll
we'll
get
get
the
you
message.
information and we'll just send it
Absolutely.
along. But definitely check us out. Okay.
So we always do. You got any shout outs you want to give or you just
Look, I'm
I'm
about to
shouting
sleep.
at her.
It's sad. She took it all, but the key thing is to follow us for our
Yeah.
28 days of the dismantling of public education.
Correct.
Every year we do that through the Sunshine Education Coalition, where we're a grassroots organization that focus on the school to prison pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's an issue. It's nationwide. Until we take the time to funnel in funding to be able to address the matter, it's
Absolutely.
never going to change. So
Mm-hmm.
again,
Yeah.
follow us on Sunshineeducationcoalition.org.
They'll know by third grade where
Or
you
refer
gonna
to it
be.
as SEC. Yep.
Correct.
They're
Because they
gonna know where
build
you're
jails
going.
for you.
They
if
build
they
jails
don't know,
for
if
you.
they don't know
They
that you can't read.
But let's recognize
Absolutely.
though that keep the likes on Torres. We pull up Will D every show we dedicate to my partner Will D Levers in 2023, man. Cigar Life, CIGARLYFE.com. A lot of good stuff on there. Go check them out. Greg Doss, let them know what you do.
I argue. But anyway, Greg Doss, GD9 Attorney Pro Se Consultants. We help people navigate the sometimes difficult journey of self-representation without giving you legal advice. I do appreciate that we did hit our 1 million viewers. And anybody who's on my live, please subscribe to the Chop Shop Show where I am here now, where you get the opportunity to hear from some local people who address our local issues here in Tampa. And but other than that, I'll be live again tonight. But you can go to GDNAPS. Actually, was it Greg?
Top Show.
Yeah, Chop Shop Show, and you'll see me at
GD Napsy.
GD Napsy on YouTube. Greg Doss GDNAPSC, and make sure you're by your screen on Wednesday and Thursday at about 9:30, as I will descend on the county commissioners meeting in Hillsborough County and the city council meeting
Man, gonna put
in
his hands
Tampa.
on you, man. Gonna put his hands on you for long. I just hope you know how to fight still.
Who gonna
pull
put
up
their hands on
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
Then watch
real
it.
good.
Watch him get a chance at 9:30 city council meeting. I'm telling you, he be
They're
talking
gonna
real.
take you out of the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pull up auto repair to the Carlos
Pull up
Barnes.
on me.
Yeah, 813-443-4730.
They train me to do what I can do. right?
Anybody need car repairs, man? Best, good race
I
that
love
he
the
felt.
auto center.
That's my man.
Carlos, he is
that's
the
my
best.
dude.
I started with Carlos
That's
when
my
we
dude.
was going to USF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, we got him on. So definitely don't he pulled up for he got New England win the Super Bowl.
And
That's it.
who we got in basketball this
He said he said he would
he
he ain't giving them a basketball.
He
That's
ain't
my
okay,
bad.
see no more.
He ain't giving them a basketball. He just gave me that. Definitely check out Elevated Designs. Got some good stuff online for y'all, man. Go check them out. 813-400-7015. Got the Black History prints going. Pull up on my man Spencer Johnson. Waldo, what's his slogan?
If your pool green, we make it clean.
There you go. ncpoolservices.com. 813-802-9496. Pavers and reservices. Supply and install pumps. Automation salt system. Heat pumps. All kind of good stuff dealing with getting them pools. And it's about to heat up. So, yeah, you can get yourself ready. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, well, Waldo do King's Cap, but we'll do Wingstop. Pull that up. We got 12 locations
12, okay.
throughout the Bay Area. 2115 East Hillsborough.
Getting bigger
What's
and
that?
better, huh?
What's that close to, Waldo?
Alibi.
What they do
Okay,
there?
Amateur dancing. if
Amateur
you-
dancing at its
for
finest.
those-
Okay.
Put up a little bit, little bigger, Torres. You got a little small. I can't.
Oh,
Come on, Torres. You're not applying yourself, bro. Let's go. 1019 North Dale, maybe got that by Club Joy.
Del Mabry.
Yeah.
This is my last day, bro.
It's your last day?
Yeah.
For real? You out of here?
I'm done with y'all, man.
Okay.
Y'all doing too much. In here,
Okay,
man.
4217 South Florida, down about Club Kathleen. 14915 North Florida, right there by the old Malibu. If you ducked off out there, Olds by 8436 West Hillsboro. Got a new one out there, Zephyr Hills, 7936 Gall Boulevard.
I used to load that area.
Yeah, they were going crazy on Facebook about that one.
Oh yeah, that's popped off, man. They do
really?
their thing.
Why
yeah.
y'all ain't tell me they got a wing stop in Zephyr Hill?
Exactly. Damn. If you out there, not too
crazy
far
about that
down
one.
there by Hillsboro and Armenia area, 36 West 11 West Hillsboro. I drive a club, Mirage and Moet back in the day.
That ain't too far out there.
107 South Dale, baby. What's that close to?
The University of Thomas Jefferson High School.
Right there on Kennan. And right, if you're the outlet bar, get your shop on 23048 Florida Highway
Right over
54.
there. Go back.
You also got 1219 Booty down. And also where it all started, man, 9305 North 56th Street.
By me.
That's Chop Shop headquarters. Okay, you got an old Blockbuster account?
She's right there. She's right there. She's right there, Blockbuster.
You still on?
No.
No.
Oh, yes, she does.
I do have. I probably do got some in
Yeah,
there.
there she go.
I think that's
Trying to
together
get
car.
Yeah.
No,
You got quiet.
like Tom the Grady.
You got the movie.
No. Oh, I'm
And
gonna
then
cook
where
you something good.
where it all started, 2776 East Fowler, man, right there by Kinko's, by University Mall in that area. So we're going to come back. We're going to hit these young ladies with rapid fire. This is going to be good.
We need to go straight
Speaking
into
of
it.
Give us a quick, yeah, this fact, this one, yeah.
condolences
We don't
to
need to
Mom.
straight
Yeah,
up.
we
We're
ain't
going
got
straight
let's
into
go
it.
right into it. Rapid fire. Pull
what's
up
rapid
King's
fire?
Care.
King's Care, for a king made by a queen. Kings_care with a K on Instagram. KingsCare.com. Y'all check us out. Instagram, Facebook, Amazon, Brandon Mall. We have a shampoo, conditioner,
What else?
pomade,
There you go.
beard wash, beard oil, and
Beard
also
oil
beard
works.
conditioner.
That's what my beards are.
Yeah, so
Okay.
y'all make sure y'all check us out.
All right.
Oh, harmonize. They harmonize that. They
In
harmonize
sync, no
that.
Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Okay. Biggest pet peeve.
Business pet peeve.
Biggest. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, biggest pet peeve.
Parents.
Telemarketers. What they calling, and then they get harassed you. And they get, no, actually, no, that isn't the biggest pet peeve. You know what it is? I ain't gonna lie. I can't stand when people can't put the grocery card back in the thing when they finish grocery shopping. What the hell wrong with you? Push the
Okay.
thing out the way so I can put my car in the parking space. It ain't that hard.
Biggest pet peeve for you,
It
Sister
ain't
Carl.
that hard.
When your words don't line up with your actions, when
Yes.
you make all these big promises and
Liars.
you don't follow through.
Okay.
Yes, liars.
Yes.
Don't tell a child you're gonna do something you're not gonna do it.
Correct.
Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I like to hit people with the music question. Road trip, you're gonna take 3 musical artists, living or dead. What's your 3?
Oh, Al Green. I love Al Green. I love Bobby Blue Bland for my grandmother.
Okay.
I know
It's
what
so
you like to
interesting.
do.
Look, I love me some doggone Chris Breezy.
Okay.
It blended so great. I know y'all.
No, it didn't blend.
You
Yeah,
pay
that
a
was
little money for
terrible.
the picture?
Well, I actually paid a lot of money for. Yeah. Okay.
No, I ain't talking about going to. I'm talking about paying for the picture.
What picture?
You know, he charged
Chris Brown?
$1,100 to take a picture with him.
Listen, I do a lot of things, but it'll never be for something that stupid.
Okay, proceed.
No,
My
no,
bad.
no.
Sister Denise, what's your 3?
Same thing. So, well, Bob Marley for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because Robert Nesta Marley is that. Okay.
Okay.
It would be an R&B artist. I actually like Duran Bernard right now. He's just wild. I just like him.
Okay.
And I think in terms of neo soul, it have to be Jill Scott. We're just gonna ride. Just listen to Jill
Okay.
Scott.
My
Yeah.
last question, we'll get y'all out of here. If you could change one rule within the education system, what would it be?
Swing on it.
See you.
I'm sorry. I
One
just-
rule that I could change. That's so hard.
That's a hard one because that's a lot to
So
education.
just pick one.
It's not so much as a rule.
Okay, what could you change?
What would
you
I change?
What would you
Gut
implement?
gut
The
punch a
belief
kid.
system that every child does not have the ability to learn.
Okay.
Think
Denise,
that
you?
shit. I'm
I would. Once you start showing me that you are not in it for the children, I would then try to replace you as quickly as possible. Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't want a child to suffer an entire year with somebody that don't care about them.
Okay. Our last segment we like to do, we're going to do this in 60 seconds. So, Waldo, I'm going to start with you. We got to do better. We got to do better, people. Dade City, take off.
As a man, I think we need to be better as men and stop acting like hoes.
Okay, that was pretty vague.
So
Well, give me an example. Yeah, what you mean by that?
just
sorry.
No, you
Go
good.
ahead.
You good.
Go ahead.
Be-
Continue.
I'm trying to find the right way to word this, but just be a man.
Stand on
Don't
what you
be-
stand on, or
Stand on what you stand on, but
Okay.
don't be in your feelings and don't be emotionally charged about things that are said about you. Be able to control your emotions and being able to
and your actions. Okay.
regulate your emotions and your actions as a man.
Okay. That's
Stop
fair.
acting like hoes out here in
That's
these
fair.
streets.
Okay.
What you got, Ron?
Everything. Just be better at everything.
Give me
I
60
guess I
seconds. They give you
have
60
to do
seconds.
better at everything. I don't know. One is be participatory in the politics that affects your everyday life. I'm going to stay on that issue. And take your children's future seriously. If you care about them. If you don't, then that's a different issue. But the world that we're about to leave for our children, I sincerely believe, is going to be reflective of what our grandparents lived in if we do not take life
My
seriously.
God,
Exactly.
you're so true.
Okay. Mine is build good relationships with people, because you never know when you may have to come back that way. Everyone has a story. Everyone has gone through different things. Don't frown on someone because right now they may be in a season where they losing. Be there for that person. And then something I got to get better about is checking on my partners and my brothers. Hey, are you okay? Are you good? Do you need anything from me? Because you never know what people are dealing with as they get to their own domicile and processing, whatever it is they're dealing with. So that's my thing that, we got to do better about. Waldo, you want to give anything before we get out of here about the little comment that the world been going viral on?
What comment you
comment?
made?
No, I don't want to.
What was
I don't
the
want to
comment?
get
What was
it.
the
No,
comment?
we go. No, I got it. We got to call it.
Yeah.
We keep it funky on the show now.
I really don't want to get into it too much, man. It was what was said. I went on. I made my comment, and I just leave it at that.
We'll tell y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
We'll tell y'all. We'll do offline. Yeah.
Check me out in that
What
1
you doing
hour.
now?
Which
Pull up the last one when I teach you Torres.
Yeah, gotta bring Liberty City up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna pull it up for
Bring
me?
'em.
The last one.
What is it?
I sent you something. Pull it up. I said send it to your phone. Well, I tell you, bro, Torres, you are really cutting up the teasing, boy. Oh, okay.
Well, we got. Can I jump in? We got to do better.
Go ahead.
They please stop wearing bonnets out in public. I can't stand it no more.
Thank
I can't
you,
take
Jesus.
it. And then on top of that, half people want to say, well,
Joshua.
when I heard a kid in the class say.
They went to class too.
Funny story. No.
Come on.
No.
yeah, they will wear them to
But here's the
school.
funny
We will
story.
ask them
So
to
the
take them
kid
off.
in class said, one kid in class was telling another kid, well, what am I gonna be for Halloween? And the child, they always got that quiet one in the back of the class who said, well, damn, you're dressed like a clown every damn day. You got your eyelashes and your hair and your wig and everything. No, I had to turn all the way around because I didn't want to laugh too. But it was funny. But again, please stop wearing bonnets out in public. And honestly, take all that stuff off. I mean, let's be real. You're naturally, God gave us all of this beautiful. And a lot of these girls have hair all the way down their back. Please take the
That
wig
ain't their
off.
hair.
Wait, no. They got, when they take that wig off and they take that weave out, them girls have naturally long
They
hair.
long hair,
So
just
all
no
we
edges,
want to
no
do is
edges,
just
right?
say that, yeah, they got hair.
Some don't
And they
have
just,
edges,
and I
some
just
of
want to
them
say
do.
that
Edges.
you look beautiful the way you are, and please just embrace your natural self.
And love on your
Absolutely.
kids. Love on
Your children.
Torres,
Exactly.
you ready?
Yeah. Go ahead,
All right,
Torres.
pull it up for her real quick. Couple weeks away, 14 days away. Celebration Black History.
Okay.
Front lawn of Franklin Middle Magnet from 4 to 6. Community food, games, music. Go check them out. Are y'all doing anything Black History?
We
at
got a
the
whole
school?
month of activities.
So
Okay.
weekly, we are going to be featured on the Sunshine Education Coalition's Facebook page. And there's a lot of information for what we've done in past years. We always try to ring the alarm on things that's going to impact children, all children, but specifically children of color. So
Are y'all watching the Super Bowl or you don't care?
I'm just
I'm
watching
not a
Bad
football
Bunny.
person.
I'm just watching Bad Bunny.
That's Bad Bunny. Okay,
That's
that's
it.
it. Are you going to a Super Bowl party or at the house chilling?
No, not at the
don't do that.
house. Because
Okay.
we want to encourage the teachers to come to work the next day. Just because Super Bowl don't mean you can't come watch on the next day.
Okay,
Come
I
the
heard
next
that.
day.
Okay, Waldo,
should be a national holiday.
Who you got winning?
Oh, the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I think the Patriots gonna pull it out.
do it again. Yeah.
New England.
I say.
they won last year.
No,
They've been winning, but they've been winning though. Let's be
they got a
real.
new
They've
The
been
regime.
Patriots
so-
colors are red and Red and blue.
Red, white, and blue.
Okay.
Red, and blue.
And
I
then
just know my
Seattle's
colors.
blue
I
and
don't
green.
know.
It's really white and blue and got a little bit of red in it.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be the one at the Super Bowl party just asking.
I
Oh,
cheer
what-
for
what he
whoever's
doing?
winning at the time.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me.
You're Carlos.
Carlos, yeah, Carlos, okay.
Carlita.
Calita.
Shout out to my homie Carlos. But like I say, we back at it next week. We got Corey Chaney and what's my man Freddie Smith,
Yeah, Big Fred.
Big Fred. They coming to Kid. We're gonna get into the cigar industry a little bit, so that should be good.
Next Monday.
Yeah,
Next Monday, February 9th, they have Super Bowl. You gonna go into the parade if New England win, or you gonna be here?
I don't know. I had to sit there and think about it.
Okay, you be so busy. It's a blessing.
Yeah, man, go on and wrap this up, man.
Let's go, man.
It's
Waldo, who
time
got
to
it
go,
better
man.
than us, man?
Nobody.
Keep God first. Love your family. When you see us, holler. Good night. We gone. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.